The first thing I gotta say, congrats to the winners. What a horrible script. God is pathetic, you guys. An exact reversal of the 99 NBA Finals. Spurs won games 1 and 2 in 99. Knicks won game 3. Spurs won games 4 and 5 and closed it out. Exact opposite. And again, you guys, this is the 80th NBA season. Jalen Brunson won the 80th March Madness with Villanova in San Antonio. He wins the 80th NBA season in San Antonio. I'm going to show you why all their wins were comebacks. It's all about 53 years. Don't forget, you guys, Willis Reed. Willis Reed, who died at 80 on the 80th day of the year. Go back and look at the day he died, you guys, March 21st, 2023. The Spurs lost that day and fell to 19-53. Willis Reed wore number 19. 53 years since they won. Tonight was the 53rd finals game for the Knicks in their franchise history. Of course, in Gematria, Saturday equals 53, as does comeback. Every game they're down and they come back. Nobody can stay in front of Jalen Brunson. He just gets that floater every time in the lane. Where's the 7'5" guy to swat the shit out of that? You know what I mean? It's so embarrassing. And not to mention they had to bring in a WWE character with Stephen A. Smith, the greatest no talent in the history of no talents, to remind you, rig wrestling, rig sports. The Nova Knicks, we got the Pope from Villanova. Today's a span of 94 days to the Pope's birthday. A basketball court's 94 feet long. 94 was the last time the World Cup was in the United States, and the Knicks were also in the finals versus Houston. Of course, Carmelo Anthony played for Houston and the Knicks, and we all know what just happened with the Carmelo Anthony trial. They even had to bring a stabbing to Penn Station under Madison Square Garden the night before the first game in New York, the only game the Knicks lost with the chump in the building. You guys, something I was dumbfounded about was when Villanova lost their game in March Madness this year. I was dumbfounded when they lost to Utah State. That game hurt me, and it hurt other people in our community because we did not expect Villanova to lose to Utah State. But we figured out why they lost. Go back and look at when Villanova, again, I'm going to show you how perfect it is with these Nova Knicks. Brunson, Hart, and Bridges. I'm going to show you how perfectly scripted all of this is. Because it is. It's a script, you guys. And if you can't see it, it's just because you're a special kind of dumb. But I'm going to show you how perfect it all is. But you remember how the first ever March Madness, the year they used the term March Madness, Villanova, the Catholic school, beat Georgetown, the Jesuit school. And if you don't know who the Jesuits are, they're the military order of the Pope. They run the biggest private school network in the world. So many pro athletes are Jesuit educated. It's crazy how many pro athletes are Catholic or Jesuit educated. It's just so disproportionate. Again, all roads do lead to Rome. Just like why tonight's score is 94, sync with the Pope, who also went to Villanova. But remember, Villanova won the first March Madness in 85. And if you measure from Villanova getting beat by Utah State to tonight's game, not only is it 85 days later, but this was the 85th game of the entire NBA playoffs. And this is the stuff we show year after year. It shows that the whole thing is scripted. Every single game was part of the script. That's the only way it could be 85 games in the playoffs and 85 days after Villanova lost to Utah State. And if you were here the day that the Pope became the Pope, we showed why he became the Pope on the 8th of May. And I said that day, watch for the Bears to get good, the Chicago Bears, who won their only Super Bowl in the 85 season. Because, again, the Pope's from Chicago. He went to school at Villanova. Of course, the Bears, in the season of the Pope, had a really great season compared to normal. They were on the cusp of the Super Bowl. Don't forget, Caleb Williams' season ended versus the Rams, who were hosting Super Bowl 61 in L.A., where Caleb Williams went to school. But Caleb Williams' season ended last year 61 days after his birthday. Anyway, here's what I showed about the Pope becoming the Pope on May 8th. There's two things that are important about it. Augustine of Hippo. I missed an E. Augustine of Hippo. He is the leader of the Augustinians. Pope Leo is the first Augustinian Pope, and Augustine of Hippo, his following is what created Villanova. If you look up Villanova, they were created by the Augustinians. So Augustine of Hippo, 85. Basketball, 85. Again, the first March Madness was in 85, won by Villanova, founded by the Augustine of Hippo order. And, you can write 8th of May, 8/5, like 85. Like, again, today's 85 days after Villanova got eliminated. But Pope Leo XIV, that's 58, right? And we commonly write May 8th in the U.S. 5/8. Again, you got to learn this code, ABC123. These numbers up here on the screen, just been crushing. The Spurs, they fell to 13-9 in the playoffs in the last game, the only game that they won in New York. And then they got closed all the way up tonight, falling to 13-10 in the playoffs. 13-1-1-3-1. And you see the 58-41? Look at San Antonio, 58-41. And don't forget the Knicks have the 41. And once again, it's a 4-1 series. And remember, game one, the Spurs lost with 95. You all remember the 22-point comeback by the Knicks. The last game, we were loving it with the Mets and the Yankees because we knew they were going to do something special with those teams. It was their 67th game. Remember, the Knicks came back from down 29. Remember, they had 29 losses on the year. Brunson's 29 years old. They stayed on 29 losses in the finals. They gave the Spurs their 29th loss of the season. But the Mets that night, on the same night, lost 2-9 and stayed on 29 wins for the year. And the Yankees picked up their 41st win of the season. Did you see that tonight the Mets stayed on 39 wins? We like that tonight. We thought New York closes out tonight. The Mets stay on 39 wins. But yeah, one more time, you guys. This is the first championship for the Knicks. Oh, by the way, the day that Villanova lost was also Spike Lee's birthday. The Knicks haven't won the finals since Spike Lee was 16 back in 73. 53 is the 16th prime. But yeah, again, the Knicks just stayed on 1,973 all-time road losses as a franchise. Knicks all-time road losses, including playoffs. Again, look at it, you guys. This is how perfectly scripted it all is. Again, if you're out there so happy that the Knicks finally won, again, think about all the pain you've endured as a fan over the years. Just all the heartbreaking losses, getting beat, disappointment. Last year versus, how did you lose to the Pacers, you're saying, right? How did we lose to the Pacers? Because it was a script. Every year is a script. It's all one big script. All of this lines up so perfect every year. The Knicks finish the season winning their first championship since 1973 in San Antonio, where they were in their last finals. And I mean, look at it, you guys. I mean, these are impossible coincidences. Just like the whole Carmelo Anthony hoax. I mean, Carmelo Anthony, the stabbing story on the same day that Carmelo's elected to the Naismith Hall of Fame. These are embarrassing stories. These are psyops. It's just all one big rig script. And these low IQ lemmings that have been created that are the populace of this country, they fall for it. It's pathetic. Snap out of it. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. And again, Red Holzman, the last coach to win for the Knicks. The last coach to win. He won 613 games with the Knicks. They gave him a jersey with 613 on it. And now the Knicks win on 613. Okay, these ads are killing it right now. Hold on. Okay, everybody's got their pop-up ads everywhere. Look at that. Red Holzman, 613 wins, you guys. 613. Willis Reed on that team. What's Willis Reed equal in Gematria? 53, right? The final started on the 154th day of the year, June 3rd. They were originally scheduled for 6-4. The Knicks right now, you want the whole script? They're on 215 postseason losses. They lost one game in the series. They now have 215 losses in the playoffs. San Antonio Spurs 2-1-5. Don't forget, they beat the Spurs in the NBA Cup which was 215 days from the World Cup. Here, something to think about, you guys, with the Knicks closing it out tonight with 94 points. Big number here with Brazil. We take advantage of it on the regular and the rigged UFC. Brazil 94. In 70 when the Knicks were in the finals, Brazil was in the championship. In 94 when the Knicks were in the finals, and the last time World Cup was in America, Brazil was in the finals. So I'm just saying that about the Knicks winning with 94 too, in light of the 94-foot basketball court. There's a lot of angles to this script. But yeah. Here's the other sick angle to this script. Did you see the latest sports death? This is a rematch of the 99 NBA Finals. And Aldon Smith, who wore 99 for the majority of his career, is dead for unknown reasons today, on the day that the rematch of the 99 Finals gets closed out, doing an exact reversal. Aldon Smith became the fastest player to 30 sacks in NFL history. He did it on November 25th, the day leaving 36 days left in the year. And now he's dead at 36. Number 99. Again, it's not just that this is the rematch of the 99 Finals. Think about the upcoming NFL season. First time ever there's going to be a game on a Wednesday, which is the anniversary of the state of California's birthday. He played for two California franchises, the 49ers and Oakland. Of course, Oakland's now in Vegas. And California's birthday is September 9th. That's the United States of America's anniversary of being named. Of course, the Super Bowl this year is in California, the upcoming season with the Rams. Let me just show you all the familiar patterns with Aldon Smith's death. Again, this happens every time when pro championships come around. All these ritualistic deaths. Last Saturday, it was Stacey King dead by the numbers, who won 3 rings with Jordan. The Knicks just picked up their 3rd championship. And remember, Stacey King, who was born in 67, dropped dead on 6-7. Now, a Saturday later, Aldon Smith's dead as the Knicks, 6-7, win the finals, right? But look at this. All the familiar patterns I talk about. Aldon Smith was drafted by the 49ers. Today is the 164th day of the year, and today's date numerology is 65. If you're new here, these values, they're simple. You're just taking the alphabetic order. A is 1 up to Z is 26, and you're adding up the letters as a math equation. There's just using the alphabet, and then there's applying numerology to each letter and then adding it up. And when you do it that way, you get a smaller value. Today's date numerology is 65, which breaks down to 11. And it's also the 164th day of the year. Drafted by the 49ers, San Francisco 49ers, 164-65. What a day for a 49er to die. And keep in mind, he's from Kansas City, Missouri. Remember Super Bowl 54 and 58? Those were the Joe Montana Bowls. 58 was the 54th of the modern era. Joe Montana equals 54, but the two teams Montana played for. We just passed Joe Montana's birthday anniversary, too, 2 days ago for the record, June 11th. Speaking of which, how old is Joe Montana right now? Hold up. I just got to check that out. He just turned 70. That's interesting because gold is 70. Remember, the 49ers won their first ever Super Bowl, which was Super Bowl 16 with Joe Montana, number 16, on the anniversary of the Gold Rush beginning. If you didn't know that, look it up. When they hosted Super Bowl 50, the golden anniversary of the Super Bowl, who won that Super Bowl? It was played on the 38th day of the year, and it was won by the 38th state, Colorado. And we told you at the beginning of that season, when I say we, I mean me, I told you at the beginning of that season, it was going to be Broncos over Panthers, Von Miller would be the MVP, and there'd be Black Panther symbolism at the halftime show. All of those things happened. All of those things predicted at the start of the year. And don't forget, the Panthers also lost in Super Bowl 38. Again, Super Bowl 50 was on the 38th day of the year, the tribute to gold. Like there's gold in them mountains in Colorado. But anyway, they killed the Denver Nugget, who had the most points in Nuggets history, died right before that Super Bowl for the record, because they're always doing this kind of stuff. But anyway, San Francisco 49ers. So what a day for Aldon Smith to die, right? And again, he wore 99, rematch of the 99 finals. The upcoming season starts on 9/9. June 13th also leaves 201 days left in the year. It's the 164th day of the year, leaving 201 days. San Francisco 49ers also has a gematria value of 177. We see these numbers get put together all the time. The Jesuit order, 177 and 201. The Bay Area has 2 of the nation's 27 remaining Jesuit universities. Super Jesuit in the Bay Area, in the Big Tech Bay. These numbers get put together all the time. And he's dead at 36. The lesser date numerology today is 45. June 13th, 26. 6 plus 13 plus 26, 45. IHS. This is the Jesuit Order's logo. IHS. 36 forwards, 45 when you run it in reverse. Just like the Jesuit Order's 177 when you run the alphabetic order forwards. 201 when you run it in reverse. In reverse just means making Z1, counting back to A is 26. And again, he was the fastest to 30 sacks. Did it on the day, leaving 36 days left in the year. Now dead at 36. And from the anniversary to his death today, span of 201 days. Again, you guys, I've been educating about this stuff for so long, these same old ritualistic patterns. Remember, when you play for the Super Bowl, you play for the Lombardi Trophy, and Lombardi was a Jesuit, and he died unexpectedly at Jesuit Georgetown, one day before the 1970 season. And with regards to the Jesuits, it's very clear that their fingerprints are all over the Church of Satan, which was founded in San Francisco. And by the way, we talked about the Church of Satan a lot with these NBA finals. Remember, the Knicks, they improved to 214 and 214 all-time in the postseason on the Church of Satan's birthday this year when they blew out the opponent, the game where they were up 60 points on the Church of Satan's 60th birthday with ref number 60 working the game. Church of Satan 214, Satan alone 80. Again, this was the 80th NBA season. The Knicks in their 80th season. The Knicks orange like the painted clown Donald Trump, who runs on MAGA, which is the highest degree of the Church of Satan. But, by the way, you see how Satan's 55? The Knicks and the Spurs are now 5-5 against each other all time in the finals. Spurs won 4-1 in 99. Knicks win 4-1 in 2026, 27 years later. Don't forget Brunson's dad. Oh, my God. Brunson's dad wore 9 and his son wears 11. I mean, give me a break. But yeah, anyway, Anton LaVey, you guys, the other point I got to make about him, he died at 67, right? Satanic 67-22, Knicks 67-22. Did you catch Satanic's 122? So is San Francisco. So is National Football League. The National Football League has the 85 connection too. I brought that in with what they did with Villanova being eliminated 85 days before the 85th game of the NBA playoffs, which was tonight, which closed it all out. But yeah, Anton LaVey, you guys, the founder of the Church of Satan. He died 201 days after his own 67th birthday. Got all these kids saying 6-7. We've been explaining forever that this is a satanic killing number, like what they did to Stacey King last week on 6-7. But Anton LaVey died 201 days after his own birthday, and he died 201 days from the sitting Pope's birthday at the time. Right here. 201 days from the sitting Pope's birthday. Over and over again. Same old stuff. Same old ritualistic stuff. And keep in mind, Aldon Smith's last pro contract was with the Seahawks. He never played a regular season game with them. They cut him. But the last money he got in the NFL is from the Seahawks. Think about this year's Super Bowl. Seattle won in San Francisco. Aldon Smith dies. And do you see how he died 261 days after his birthday and wore 99? Look at the United States of America. 261 and 99, right? Also 144 like the Jesuit Order. That also means he died 104 days before his upcoming birthday. World Cup's 104. That's the other form of football. The World Cup games are going on in the 49ers Stadium and the Seahawks Stadium. Those are two of the main sites. Obviously, the championship will be played in New York. But yeah, he died 104 days before his upcoming birthday. Again, there's an obvious parallel here with Kansas City and San Francisco. It reminds me that Mahomes' fake injury right after Taylor Swift put out the end of an era. Mahomes' fake injury, you guys, last season was 61 weeks before Super Bowl 61, so we're going to have to think about that. Aldon Smith did wear 58 at the end of his career for the Dallas Cowboys. And remember, the last Super Bowl between the Niners and Chiefs was Super Bowl 58 on the Vatican's birthday. And the score was 25-22, 47 points. Vatican equals 47 and 25. But yeah, Aldon Smith, 58. I talked about where that fits in with the Pope. Oh, yeah. And that reminds me, too, you guys. I forgot to make this point about the Pope who went to Villanova, just like the Nova Knicks. Look at this, you guys. It's unbelievable. We'll go through the 3 Nova Knicks. We'll start with Josh Hart. Josh Hart just happens to be 99 days after his birthday, you guys. Aldon Smith, number 99, dead. Rematch of the 99 finals, right? Born on 3/6. Aldon Smith, dead at 36. And there's probably a soccer joke here, too, because soccer has the 36, 99, 27 connection. He set that sack record in his 27th game. Villanova has the 36 connection for the record. Aldon Smith gone at 36. Okay, so Josh Hart, it's 99 days after his birthday, right? And then Bridges, it's 287 days after his birthday. 287 days is also the exact same as 41 weeks, right? 7 days in a week. So 40 times 7 is 280, plus one more week, 7 more days, 287. 287 days, 41 weeks. 4-1 series. Knicks equals 41. San Antonio 41. He's from the Philadelphia area where Villanova is. And when you look at Basketball Reference, it's showing days after their birthday. So if you wanted the total span of days, you would add +1. And in the case of Brunson, he's born 1 day after Bridges. So it's 286 days after Brunson's birthday, or it's exactly 287 days or 41 weeks into his age. And just to show you, in case you're confused about that, August 31st, right? 2025, his last birthday today, 286 days. If you count the span of days, 287 days. Again, it's easy to understand if you just measure 1 day after your birthday. The day of your birthday is the first day of your age. The day after is 1 day after your birthday, but your second day of your age, and so on and so forth. And again, 287 days, boom, 41 weeks. We went over all of this, this morning. We reviewed all this. All these things I'm talking about, you guys, we all covered this early this morning. We had another great day in baseball. Boom. The Knicks just paying the bills. I mean, you guys, let me, in case you forgot about the 1999 NBA Finals and what I've been showing these previous streams, look at game 1 of 99. The Spurs won by 12. This year, the Knicks won 12 straight. Game 2 in 99, the Spurs won by 13. This year, the Knicks win 13 straight. And look at the score of that game, you guys, 80-67. This is the 80th season. This year in game 2, the Knicks won 13 straight and got their 67th win of the season. I mean, are you kidding me? They got their 67th win of the season? Please. So, again, you guys, Knicks, 67. And like I've said, for all the years I've been here, you guys, I've been doing this since 2013. I've shown that by studying this, you can see what a script it is, and you can see that how all of these years are like a storybook, and it's all part of one ongoing script. And look how many father-son things we've talked about over the years. Now we have another one with the Brunson. And this is the first time I wonder if I've been overlooking the way they sync up past March Madness tournaments with NBA. Because I don't ever remember an example quite like this, where Brunson won the 80th March Madness in San Antonio and now wins the 80th NBA season in San Antonio. But these are the things we've been talking about on Patreon, as we do every day. We cover sports every single day. And then you slow guys, you always come in here and you're like, why don't you do this before the game? And it's like, are you guys listening? Can you guys clean out your ears? Are you too drunk? Are you too high? Try being sober and listening. We do this every day before the games. So, yeah, there's more that I could say about the death of Aldon Smith. But I think I said enough. And really just the jersey number tells the whole story, you guys. It just tells the whole story. His number was up. It's interesting how he was a top pick. And he didn't play that long of an NFL career, especially after getting off to such a good start by setting a sack record. I mean, that's a pretty hard thing to do. There's been a lot of sack specialists in the NFL. So, to set a record like that. Yeah. And again, when we miss narratives, by the way, I told you guys earlier, I was shocked when Villanova didn't beat Utah State and get their 25th win of the year. I mean, I was just like dumbfounded because Utah State equals 25. And this, if you guys are new here, these are the 4 base ciphers of the English language, but the one that just consistently hits is this dark blue one. Utah State 25 like Pope. So we just thought in the opening round, that was one of the surest bets. And normally we don't miss games like this. But what they did instead is they kept him on 24 wins for Spike Lee in his Nova Knicks. This is the trade-off thing. Villanova suffers the first round, pain, but then the Nova Knicks, 85 days later, in the 85th game of the playoffs, just like Nova won in 85, now they get the pay due by winning the championship. Script. And again, just perfectly synced with the 3 Nova Knicks. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I love the shot of Bridges 25 right there. I love it. Finals 25, Pope 25. So, all right. There's even more that could be said, but rather than do that, let's get you guys in here. Let's get the participation. Arthur, yeah, and Arthur did a great job, you guys. Here, let me pull up Arthur. Let me pull up Arthur's post on all the 53s. Arthur did an amazing job. I've been mad at Arthur in the past for a lot of valid reasons, but, the one thing I appreciate about Arthur is he stayed true to form. He's done pretty good decoding over the years, and he really killed it in these finals with his 53 and sticking to his guns that it was going to be an exact repeat of the 99 finals in reverse. Arthur was confident they were going to do that from the beginning. As far as I know, he had the most confidence in the world that it was going to be an exact reverse script. And honestly, I thought the Knicks were going to win the 14 straight. I was a little bit shocked they didn't. Because remember, had the Knicks won with that game with Trump in the building, they would have got the 47th home win of the entire playoffs for the whole league, 47 days from their last loss, and they would have won 14 straight, in tribute to Pope Leo the 14th. Oh, by the way, you guys, that's one thing I forgot to mention. Remember the Knicks won the first 2 games with 105 points? Pope Leo 105. It's also 39 like New York. It's also 24 like Villanova stayed on 24 wins. And that's what I did catch after Villanova lost. It's like, oh, maybe that's what they did. But 105 is the 14th triangular number. And instead of the Knicks winning 14 straight that night, they stayed on 14 wins in the postseason. Remember, Spike Lee was sitting courtside with his 14 jersey on for the Pope. But, yeah, in 73, we covered this last Saturday. Arthur and I did a stream, and we went over a lot of this stuff. I pointed out in that stream that in 73, the Knicks won on the 10th of May. When they won the championship in 73, the last time they won on the 10th of May, a date that can be written 10-5. And again, Pope Leo 39 like New York. The Mets, who have the same colors as the Knicks, stayed on 39 wins tonight. In case you didn't see that, here, let me pull up the Mets box score. We were pretty sure that's what they were going to do. We were torn on the Yankees. We could understand if the Yankees stayed on 27 losses for a rematch 27 years. We could have also understood if the Yankees stayed on 41 wins and 22 away wins, because remember, Knicks is 41 and 22, like they were down 41-22 in the last game. But you see the Mets, I said the Mets stayed on 39 wins. I meant the Mets picked up their 39th loss tonight. That's what they did. They picked up the 39th loss. Yeah, we liked that 39 to hit tonight. We thought Knicks get it done, and the Mets pick up the symbolic 39th loss to the shout-out to New York. What a script. And oh, yeah, one more time, comeback. All these comebacks for the Knicks every damn game. Tonight they mustered, 13 points in the first quarter? The halftime score was like a game from the 90s back when they played defense. What was the score? Hold on. What was the score tonight at the half? It was ridiculous. Like, okay. And come on, you guys. Last game, the Spurs could only score 30 points in the second half. Tonight, the halftime score was 37. No, 24 in the second quarter. Spurs put up 42. and the Knicks put up 37. So we had 79 points of offense in the first half. Probably a tribute to Chump, who's on his last day of being 79 years old. And remember, all day today, he's been saying the Strait of Hormuz it's over. It's going to be all reopened. And I was talking about this on my news streams the other day. I said, are they going to bring this whole shit show to an end once Trump's no longer 79? So we'll keep an eye on that. But Strait of Hormuz, 79. They've done a million ritual. Remember, you guys, the Iranian Revolution was in 79, and it ended on the Vatican's birthday, and on and on and on. But again, it's all one big script. Knicks win 53 games in the regular season. Willis Reed, 53. Comeback, 53. Let me find Arthur's channel here real quick, and I'm going to bring you guys on. I want you to see his 53 list. It's incredible. He's out there in New York, Arthur. So he was, this one was close to him. Sometimes when you really know your team, you got the extra details. And hold up. I'm pulling up his channel right now. I got to show off his 53 list. He's streaming right now himself. And, he was totally confident it was over tonight. All right, here we go. All right, Simple Truth TV right here. Boom. Here's his 53 list. 53 is not a coincidence. It's a script. Again, tonight was the 53rd game for the Knicks in the finals. They're now 24. You guys, they got their 24th win tonight in the finals, right? Pope Leo, 24. Those 105s. Okay. Hold on. Where's his channel at? What did I just do? All right. He's got so much information on here. The font is so small. All right. Red Holzman was 53 years old when he won the 73 NBA championship with the Knicks. Remember, he won 613 games with the Knicks. Here we are on 613. Red Holzman died 84 days before the start of the 53rd NBA season. Did I just see an 84 with Pope Leo? How long was it planned for Pope Leo to be installed as the first American Pope? Hold on. I got to look this up real quick, you guys. I'm just curious. I like to take it even deeper. Red Holzman died November 13th at age 78. New York equals 78. NBA Finals, 78. 78's the 12th triangular number. When the Spurs beat the Knicks in 99, they closed them out with 78. Stevie Nicks is 78 years old. Last game, one of the storylines was Taylor Swift wore a Stevie Nicks shirt to the game. Knicks picked up their 15th postseason win in that last game with Taylor Swift wearing the shirt 15 days after Stevie Nicks' birthday. Hold up. Pope Leo's birthday, September 14th, 1647. So, you know what's crazy about that? So he died 60 days after Leo's 43rd birthday, or on the 61st day of Leo's age. There's a big 60 piece with Donald Trump, but then the 61st day of his age goes with Finals 61, New York Knicks 61. If you missed my work on the Carmelo Anthony stabbing in these finals, it was a lot of 61. So I don't think that's an accident. And again, a lot of this stuff is planned a long time, long time in advance. He died right before that season, or he died right at the start of that season where you had the 99 finals with the Spurs and the Knicks. So yeah, it was there all along, you guys. It was there all along, the clue for what they were doing this year. Some years we nail it, some years we miss it, or we catch on to it too late. It's all about solving the puzzle. And all the haters out there like, oh, how come you don't get it right every single year? Well, I've done it more than anybody who's ever walked this earth, first of all. Second of all, like I just said, sometimes you miss, the narrative that mattered the most. I wish I would have had this detail about Red Holzman dying, right at the start of that season. And it was all there. If you knew this team, if you knew the numbers, you could have solved it. And by the way, people in our community did figure out that it did like Knicks Spurs based on what they did with the NBA Cup. Because again, it was 215 days from the World Cup finale. There's a history of the Knicks in the World Cup, and San Antonio Spurs equals 215. And now, lo and behold, the Knicks have won the finals, and they've stayed on 215 losses in the playoffs. Knicks all-time record in playoffs. Look at this, you guys. 215 losses, right? 2-1-5. San Antonio Spurs. Go back and measure from the NBA Cup to the World Cup finale. It's 215 days. And by the way, France is about to play their first game in the World Cup on the 16th. Expect Wemby to be there in the stands. I talked about that this morning. I said expect to see Wemby there for that. Finals will be over. He can go watch the World Cup. They can put him on the TV. More mockery. Fans won't get it, how it's all scripted together. But anyway, coming back. Okay, bullet point 3. The New York Knicks and San Antonio Spurs faced off in the finals during the 53rd NBA season. So all these things connected to Red Holzman are all about that season. The 99 season was the 53rd season. The New York Knicks ended their 53-year championship. He already had this up here before it happened. See, that's why I like how he did it. He was very confident. Very confident. The name Red Holzman equals 53. There it is. Red Holzman. Covered this last Saturday, 53. Willis Reed, 53. Again, the day Willis Reed died. Here, let's just put it up here on the screen for all the lazy people who won't do it. Some of you are like, yeah, right, I doubt it. Could have looked into it and proved it to yourself, but here, I'll just do it for you. Let's go back to the day that Willis Reed died, March 21st, 2023. Again, dead at 80 on the 80th day of the year. Now this happens in the 80th season. Was my internet dying on me? Look at this, you guys. Here's the day Willis Reed died. Spurs fall to 19-53. Willis Reed, number 19. Shout out to Punk Rock. He called into our live stream Saturday last week and pointed that out. And damn, notice the Spurs. Notice they scored 84 in that game. Pope Leo 84, Red Holzman dead in the 84-day ritual. Okay. For the man out there telling me that you won big, hey, I hope you have enough to pay me back. Man out there I've had to make some loans to over the years, and he's never paid back, but he hit tonight on Knicks winning it in Game 5. All right. Let's continue. Red Holzman, Willis Reed, 53. During the 2025 NBA Cup Championship, Jalen Brunson and OG Anunoby combined for 53 points. What a script. The New York Knicks won 53 games this season. We know that. The current New York Knicks head coach, Mike Brown, has a March 5th birthday, which can be written 5-3. In 1953, Red Holzman transitioned from an NBA champion player to a coach. He left the Rochester Royals. That's in New York, right? What'd they do in the Royals game today? Hold up. Where's the Royals game at? They love to do these cross-sport rituals. I just got to see. The Royals lost 7-8 today. New York 78. NBA Finals 78. NBA Finals also 33. New York 33-39. Houston beat the Royals today. Remember in 94, last time the World Cup was in the States, the finals was Houston and New York. The other Texas team. Carmelo connection. Oh, yeah, by the way, you guys, today's the 164th day of the year. The whole Carmelo Anthony parallel, the stabbing story, the ritual with Carmelo going to the Hall of Fame on the same day. 164th day of the year, Carmelo Anthony 164. Whole lot of 214 things with the Knicks and their rituals leading up to this moment, too. Okay, Red Holzman, he left the Rochester Royals in late 53 to join the Milwaukee Hawks. Later, and of course, the Knicks went through the Hawks this year in the playoffs. That's who they had their last loss to before losing to the Spurs after the 13 straight. Yeah, okay. Milwaukee does equal 53, absolutely. So, a lot of 53s here. One big script is what we see all across sports day after day. When you decode sports day after day, you see this stuff's going on day after day. Game 5 of the 2025-26 NBA Finals was on 6/13, which was on Saturday. Red Holzman won 613 games with the Knicks. Willis Reed started in 6. Arthur, you should have used the tense on these words that it was in the future, because it was in the future when you wrote this down. People will look at this in the past and say, oh, that's past tense. It should have said Game 5 will be on June 13th. Just let it be known. Arthur had this thing posted before the game. He was showing us this last Saturday, and we were adding more to it. There were 17 things on here last week. And don't forget Rick Adelman, too, you guys. Rick Adelman, who died right before these finals, he'll turn 80 on June 16th. He turned 53 years old. We're probably going to get into it. Rick Adelman turned 53 the day of Game 1 of the 99 NBA Finals between these same teams. And again, he coached the Trailblazers to 2 finals. And the first team the Spurs went through this year was the Trailblazers. I'm pretty sure we're going to get to it, but we covered that last week, too. We brought that up to add to this list. Today is the last day of Rick Brunson being 53 years old, you guys. He has the same birthday as Trump. So Jalen Brunson's dad, Rick Brunson, is 50. It's his last day of being 53 years old, you guys. Look at that. He's from Syracuse. Isn't that where Carmelo Anthony won the March Madness championship? Remember the Syracuse Orange? Now we got the Orange Knicks. And again, if you guys don't know, in basketball history, the Syracuse Nationals became the Philadelphia 76ers. I saw the Nationals won 8-3 today. I saw Brunson tie up the game at 83 apiece. I think there's something to that. Before Game 1 of the NBA Finals, ESPN gave the San Antonio Spurs. Yeah, we covered this actually. They gave a 53% chance to win the series, which means the Knicks had a 47% chance representing the Orange Goon from New York, number 47, whose name equals 47. And don't forget who told you 4 years before it happened that they'd reinstall him in 2024. And don't forget who told you the first day of the 2015 debate between all those GOP candidates, they were installing the Orange Clown. And the reason we knew that is because they put up on the screen on Fox News, they said Trump's the 133rd richest man in the world, President 133, White House 133, Government 133. He's got the Flag Day birthday, which is June 14th, 133. Take a good look at that UFC card tomorrow at the White House. Anyway, Chipotle gave away 53,000 burritos for the NBA Finals. 53,000. I wonder where they got that number from. Again, corporate America, you guys. This country is ruled over by corporations. They love to control you with the entertainment. They love to market their crap to you during these entertainment events. It's all part of one big system, one big rig. All right, by the Knicks winning the championship, the Spurs stayed on 5 titles, and the Knicks now have 3. That's a good one. 5-3. 5's the third prime number for the record. And I think there is something about the upcoming NFL season, too. And now we even got I was saying this last Saturday when we were talking about this, and now we got Aldon Smith's death. The Niners right now are 5-3 in Super Bowls, too. Niners are 5-3. And they fell to 5-3 versus Kansas City. Aldon Smith, drafted by the Niners from Kansas City, Missouri. The number 53, when written out as a word, equals 122 and 148, like San Antonio. Now, I feel like we could have had some better examples. Okay, that stuff is interesting, but I know we had some better 53s than that. But okay. On the day Willis Reed passed away, the San Antonio Spurs recorded their 53rd loss of the season. Like, that one right there is a lot better bullet point. And he must have said Willis Reed equals 53, right? Maybe we're coming up on that. The 2025-26 NBA preseason began 53 days after the anniversary of Red Holzman's birthday. Woo! Karl Anthony Towns' mother passed away from Cooties 19, and of course, COVID equals 53. I wrote a book about that. Karl Anthony Towns lost 8 members of his family, supposedly, from that. Talk about blood sacrifice. Don't forget his first day with the Knicks. He wore a T-shirt of the 99 NBA Finals. Look that up. Karl Anthony Towns' first day with the Knicks. 99 NBA Finals shirt. Red Holzman's number 613 was honored by the Knicks on March 10th, 1990, Osama bin Laden's birthday. We talked about this last Saturday. I pointed out to Arthur, I said, man, Osama died 53 days after his birthday. Osama bin Laden also equals 241, the 53rd prime. Again, last time it was Knicks and Spurs was 99. They called Tim Duncan and David Robinson the Twin Towers. 2 years later, the 2 towers come down. Victor Wembanyama, born 846 days from 9/11. They said the first flight to hit the building hit at 8:46. We've talked about that a lot, the 8:46 thing. These guys being born, news and sports all sync together. Again, you guys, 1968, World Trade Center construction began. 911 made the national emergency dialing code. 2001, A Space Odyssey came out. George W. Bush graduated from Yale Skull and Bones. The New York Jets won their only Super Bowl. Then 9/11 happens and the Patriot Act, and all of a sudden the Patriots are so great. I was 18 years old, and I thought, man, the people that live in this country are dumb as hell. 9/11, the most obvious lie ever. All of a sudden, the Patriots are great. People can't see what's going on. I live in Stupidville, and I still do. I'm sad to say. And it's funny how people, a lot of Americans are like, dude, you sound like a weirdo, bruh. No, you just sound like a low IQ retard, bruh. You sound like a low IQ retard, bruh. Anyway, as of June 13th, 2026, Victor Wembanyama's father is 53 years old. No shit, huh? Who's his dad? Who's daddy? Felix Wembanyama. Did this guy play pro sports? Damn, born January 23rd, 73. He is 53 years old. He's 6'7", you guys. He's 6'7". He's 6'7". Come on, man. Is he born out of a test tube as well? Hold up. The hell? Arthur went deep on the 53. Man, this stuff is just, it's beyond. It's beyond. He's from Belgium, like French toast, Tony Parker. They called Tony Parker the Frenchie, but he's from Belgium too, next door to France. And don't forget, we call the NBA the 17 League. The final started 17 days after Tony Parker's birthday. Carl Anthony Towns is of Dominican heritage. Dominican equates to 53 in Gematria. Red Holzman attended the University of Baltimore and later the City College of New York, where he played for 2 years until graduation in 42. City College equals 53. Jalen Brunson and Carl Anthony Towns combined for exactly 53 points to lead the Knicks to a 113-102 win over the Atlanta Hawks in Game 1 of the playoffs. Another 53, and again, 113. We called the NBA the 113 League. Game 1 between Spurs and Knicks was the 113th meeting of the teams. Keep in mind, 113 is the 30th prime number, you guys. The Aldon Smith. Aldon Sterling was the shooting on Facebook Live years ago. Same day as the Philando Castile thing. Aldon Smith, the 49ers, dead. You know, he was the first to fastest to 30 sacks. 30 teams in the NBA. Anyway, the San Antonio Spurs defeated the Knicks in Game 3 of the NBA Finals, improving their all-time NBA Finals record against New York to 5-3. That's for this season. The Knicks. Wait. Oh, wait. I take it back. Oh, I see what you're saying. In Game 3. Okay. Wait, for the season? No, the Knicks went 5-2 versus the Spurs for the year. Pope equals 52. That's probably why they did that rather than 5-3. Get a little Pope tribute in there. But okay, in Game 3, I see it 5-3. Jalen Brunson's 61-point performance against the San Antonio Spurs came 53 weeks after Willis Reed's passing. Finals 61, New York Knicks. Game 5 of the 2025-26 NBA Finals. Don't forget, Aldon Smith's death today is synced with the 61st Super Bowl. Game 5 of the 2025-26 NBA Finals took place 53 days before Patrick Ewing's birthday. Wow. Ewing was on that Georgetown team that lost to Villanova in 85. Madison Square Garden is named after President James Madison, born on the 75th day of the year. 75 is the 53rd composite number. The Spurs, you guys, the Spurs stayed on 75 wins for the year. 75, 53rd composite. James Madison, 75. Perfect. Catholic Church, 75. Roman Catholic, 75. New World Order, 75. It's one day after the anniversary of Papa Bush's birthday, the one who gave the speech about a new world order. 11 years to the day of the World Trade Center's coming down while his son was president. The 1953 NBA Finals were played between the Minneapolis Lakers and the New York Knicks. So, okay, the Knicks in the finals in 53. You know, Kobe's sister and Jalen Brunson's mom were roommates at Temple University. Shout out to Hot Hand Dave, who liked the Knicks. Hot Hand Dave and I were both more on the idea of the finals being Knicks and OKC but he liked the Knicks to win the finals regardless. So shout out to High Hand Dave for that. Tyler Kolek scored a combined 53 points on Sunday, March 22nd, 2026 by playing a doubleheader in both the NBA G League and the NBA. Game 5 of the NBA Finals fell exactly 75 days before Kathy Hochul's birthday. Again, 75, the 53rd composite. Mikal Bridges attempted just 5 shots in Game 3 of the 2026 NBA Finals. Game 5 marked the 53rd NBA Finals game in New York Knicks franchise history. The San Antonio Spurs have 75 wins. Yeah, the 53rd composite. Willis Reed scored a career-high 53 points exactly 241 weeks before Rick Brunson was born. Wow, 241, the 53rd prime. The San Antonio Spurs earned their 53rd win of the 2025-26 season on the 3rd anniversary of Willis Reed's passing. Wow. Red Holzman wore number 16 during his playing career, and 53 is the 16th prime. Again, Spike Lee was 16 when they last won. You guys synced with Spike Lee as well. The Knicks completed the biggest playoff comeback in franchise history in Game 4 of the 2026 NBA Finals, overcoming a 29-point deficit to beat the Spurs 107-106, despite leading for just 53.8 seconds. Wow. After the miraculous Game 4 comeback, teams trailing by 20 or more points in the NBA playoffs over the last 2 postseasons are now 5-3 when rallying to win comeback 53. Spike Lee was just, he's got it. Spike Lee was just 16 years old the last time the Knicks won NBA championship, 53, 16th prime. The San Antonio Spurs have been in San Antonio for 53 years, relocating from Dallas and playing their first game in the city on October 10th, 73. And Brunson came over from Dallas, right? Orange, blue. I guess those are the Knicks colors. Orange plus blue equals 53. How about that? Mitch Johnson has 75 career losses. 53rd composite. As of June 13, 2026, the New York Knicks Instagram has 5.3 million followers. And hey, you know what's crazy that you can add, Arthur, for your 46th point? You can add about Aldon Smith's death. He's dead 46 days after the anniversary of being drafted in the NFL. We know sacrifice equals 46, like Genesis 46 is about sacrifice. And again, drafted by the 49ers from Kansas City. Niners fell to 5-3 in Super Bowls against Kansas City, against the Chiefs. 53 is a big number at the NFL. 53-man roster, 53 and a third yard wide field. The shape of the football in sacred geometry is the Vesica Pisces, which equals 53. So, Aldon Smith, RIP. Rig sports, ritual sacrifice. Every single time, you guys, never fails. Oh, by the way, somebody who died last night, hold on. We talked about this morning. You younger people aren't going to recognize this face. This guy was on TV a long time ago, but Gene Shalit, Jewish man, right? In Jewish spirituality, there's 613 mitzvahs. He's a New York guy. He died the night before the closeout. We talked about this morning too. Gene Shalit, 53, right? So a New York guy, longtime media personality, dies the night before the closeout game with all these 53 rituals. And again, 613 is important in Jewish spirituality. 613 mitzvahs. So yeah, shout out to Arthur, man. He had 17 things on here last week, and of course, more stuff happened over the course of the week. And you know what's funny? There's probably 5 more things out there that are at least 5 more things. But this is what we see year after year. Just all these numbers coming together in one big script that was planned out over decades in the making. Pro sports is just like a TV show like Law and Order that goes on forever. This was the 80th season of the Nothing But Actors League. Season 80. Jalen Brunson wins on his last day of his dad being 53 years old. I mean, give me a break. Here, I got to get that screenshot before it's gone. Last day of Pops being 53. Unbelievable. He wore number 9 and played for 9 seasons. Come on, man. Rematch at 99. He's from where the witch trials happen. Come on, man. Yeah, all right, good job for Arthur, man. Shout out to Punk Rock. Punk Rock gave Arthur that, and everybody who was listening last Saturday, that crazy find about the Spurs picking up the 53rd loss the same day Willis Reed died. Oh, yeah. Dead at 36, and the Knicks improved to 3-6 in the finals. Yeah, and soccer equals 36 too. Just again, he died 104 days before his upcoming birthday, you guys. World Cup's also 104. There's 104 games played in the World Cup. You know, it's the other kind of football. All this crazy ritualism, man. Let's see here. Oh, you know, the point that Arthur made about how in 53 it was Knicks versus Lakers. Remember, the Lakers came from Minnesota. And I think in 1953 they were still in Minnesota. Yeah, they were in Minneapolis still. So that was part of it too. Towns going from Minnesota to New York. And remember, the WNBA finals that year ended up being Minnesota and New York. But yeah, Towns, he came from Minnesota. So that was also a part of it. Pascal said, thanks, Zach, for all your hard work. Off topic, but something to go look out for. Avian flu matches disease X. Perfect in all 4 ciphers. I'll check it out. Let's hope not. Exile the Knights of Malta now. Hey, somebody tell Jake to a-hole how he blew it and how I'm a member spending big bucks over here and Zach Daddy, who isn't an a-hole. Appreciate that, man. Thanks for the 20. Pigos Trading Desk, 80th season. Trump is 80. Trump does turn 80 tomorrow. Yeah, he will be 80 tomorrow. Mercury is 80. Maybe we better watch out for the Mercury turning their WNBA season around. All right, let me drop the link. Let's get you guys in here. I gotta hear from everybody, including the Peanut Gallery. All right, the link is dropped, you guys. If you wanted to hop on, all you have to do is give access to your mic, not your camera, unless you want to be on the screen. And no, I don't have Parkinson's. I just got an exercise bike under the desk. It's what we do over here these days. What's up, Gematria32? Gematria32.
Hear me? Can you hear
now
me?
I do. Yeah, what's up?
Did you mention that Mike Brown equals 201 and today leaves 201 days left in the year?
His name equals 201? Oh, yeah, Michael Brown.
Right?
I mean,
that's the coach's name.
We know about the Michael Brown psyop. Yeah, okay, yeah, perfect.
Yeah, Michael Brown equals 201 today leaves 201 days left in the year. Also, I think that new kid that they traded, what's his name, Jose Alvarado, he's on the Knicks. His name equals 201 as well. The Puerto Rican kid with the braids.
Okay, yeah, it would make sense on the day leaving 201 days. Another big 201 ritual right here.
Yeah, and it makes sense because today is in New York is if you know anything about New York, today is the Puerto Rican Day Festival and tomorrow's the parade. So I saw a narrative with him as well. With the
when you guys are coming in my chat right and go, didn't Zach have Spurs? We had Knicks in game 1 as a big underdog. Knicks in game 2 as a big underdog. I was wrong about the Knicks in game 3. We had Spurs to cover game 4, and they did. And we had the Knicks to close out tonight as a big underdog. Stop. All right.
Also the it's a 94 feet court as well, right?
Yeah, I made that point. And again, it's a span of 94 days to the Pope's birthday. Roman Catholic Church 94, Brazil 94, big connection with Brazil in the World Cup and the Nixon history. So interesting stuff.
Yeah, Roman Catholic Church 94, yeah, and all that. There was one more thing. It was with the it was one more player that had something, but I'll let you get. What's it? Anyway, I'll let somebody else get on. I know a lot of people want to say something, but great stuff, man. Great call. I'll check you out on Patreon tomorrow.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Yeah, again, you guys, we do this every day. I don't take days off, you guys. I work every day. I'm the only guy you know who hasn't taken a day off probably since I started working for myself in 2012. I haven't taken one day off from work since started becoming my own, entrepreneur self in 2012, and hard work does pay off, you guys. Let's go out to Open Up. Let's go out to Pigos Trading Desk. Let's go out to Roselle. Let's go out to Matt Keeves. Let's go out to Javier, but we're going to go in that order. What's up, Open Up?
What's up, Zach? How's the sound?
Sounds great.
All right, cool. So yeah, I just wanted to give you a shout out. Shout out to the community, all the good observations. Punk rock with the grapevine, the 19 and 53. That was crazy.
That
But
sealed the deal. I mean, Willis Reed
yeah,
number 19. I mean, game over.
yeah. But I just came on to say, like, I mean, ever since I found this information, things changed for me because I was a big basketball fan. I love to play basketball. But ever since I found this, like, it's just not the same watching the game. Like, I haven't watched a game for probably the last 4 years or so since I found this out. It's not the same watching the game. Like, sometimes I tune in to watch like the ending, but as far as watching a full game, I don't remember the last game that I've watched, and that goes for all sports. But yeah, I just wanted to shout you out. I know you and Arthur had some differences and probably still do, but he did some pretty good work with the 53. So
You got to
you
give credit
gotta,
where it's due.
you're right,
He
right,
did an amazing job with all the 53 stuff.
yeah, and yeah, I mean, regardless of who we had the preseason, there's plenty of opportunities to get a lot of value along the way. You already said game one and two. I think it was either before or after game one. I took the Knicks to win 4-1. That was, I think, plus 1400. And,
Boom.
you know,
And
there's
it's
a
just
lot of different
every
ways.
day there's opportunities. We
Yeah.
really liked a 41 ritual yesterday in the Team USA football game because it was number 41's birthday anniversary, George Herbert Walker Bush, and Paraguay was ranked 41st in the nation. Hot Hand Dave figured out how to turn $5 into over 300 off the idea of a 4-1 happening in the game. He took the 4-1 score. The game is rigged, and if you use your mind every day, there's a way to make money and multiply a small bill into a big bill. That is the beauty of this. You don't have to go bet the house every day, but you can turn small bills into big bills. Go ahead, open up.
Yeah. And depending on how the World Cup goes, I have the Knicks 4-1 and a certain outcome that we discussed on Patreon parlayed with the Knicks winning 4-1. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I just want to give you your shout out, give others their shout out. I know Arthur, Punk Rock with a good observation. Other people in the community, you know, just another good call to add to the receipts. But yeah, I appreciate the work, Zach.
Shout out to Chris. Chris made some
Yeah,
money
shout
tonight.
out.
So again, all the haters out there, you guys, and I guarantee Chris didn't wager a big amount. He turned a nice little smaller sum of money into a nice little pile of cash tonight. That's what I teach people to do, you guys. I don't teach people to be gambling degenerates and go out and bet the house. I mean, once upon a time, you could bet the house on this knowledge, but you can't anymore because they've changed the game. But you can still play smart and you can still multiply small sums into big sums. Just like Open Up and a lot of other people do on a regular basis. So thank you again, Open Up. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people who their full-time job now is because of what they've learned here. So I mean, that says a lot as well. But yeah, Zach, appreciate it. Have a good night.
All right, take care, man. My college buddy said when I learned this, he said, you better never share this information with anybody. And I guarantee had I kept this to myself, it would have been a lot better for me individually because the game would probably still be rigged the exact way it was a decade ago. There wouldn't be thousands, probably millions of people capitalizing on this now. There's a lot of people that are aware of what's going on. Again, the only place I can go in the world where people recognize me is Las Vegas. Anyway, well, what's up, Pigo?
What's going on, Zach? How you doing?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Great call. We had the Knicks in the finals as well, but I always make a joke. If you want to piss away $1,000, bet on the Knicks. So now I can't use that joke anymore.
It worked for 53 years.
Yeah, it did. And you know what's funny? The last time we had a substantial crash when the Knicks won was in 73. It was the end of the Nifty 50. The Nifty 50 crashed. Avon dropped 80% alone, and Avon was a huge product back then. And I guess right back to the 80 theme with Trump and all that. Yeah, the end of the Nifty 50. And then I also have been teaching people about this lately, about 38. They've been asking me, what's 38? I see a lot of things with Elon Musk and 38. I'm like, well, have you seen the movie Murder by Numbers? No. Have you heard of all this stuff that you talk about? And they've never heard of any of this stuff. So I've been teaching them about 38 being the kill number and all that good stuff. It's
Here, let's just remind you guys, it's bigger than basketball. The SpaceX IPO goes on sale for $135 yesterday. SpaceX IPO 135, Wall Street 135. You guys. That was another thing we talked about yesterday. You heard about the mass shooting in Midland, Texas, on Wall Street, not far from where Elon Musk lives. And also, they said the shooter's name was Victor, and they encoded what they say, 11 shot, 1 dead, like New York 111, like the NBA Finals 111. I mean, and that was everything we talked about, you guys. The last game, 213 points in the game, in game 4. Tonight was 213 days after the Superior General's birthday. All roads lead to Rome, and the Jesuits running the show. The NBA Finals gets closed out 213 days after the Superior General's birthday. And don't forget, this country was formed in the time of the Jesuit suppression, which lasted 41 years. Going with all those 41s on tonight's game, the Jesuits are the pinnacle of all these Catholic orders, including the Augustinians. So, again, it just all comes together so perfectly, like always. But anyway, go ahead, Pigo.
I'm curious, actually. What does Nifty 50 equal in Gematria? I've never actually looked it up myself. Because the Knicks winning tonight and the Nifty 50 crashing 73, I wonder if there's something there. What is Nifty 50?
I don't see any numbers in Nifty 50 that go with tonight's game, but I'd have to look at it more. Maybe I'm overlooking something. So
Yeah, that's when Avon and Sears and all of them had a huge crash. Well, something to think about, but keep up the good work, my friend. And yeah, thank you.
You know, the one thing I do see just reading about that, the Nifty 50 has recently experienced a significant corrective decline, dipping below the 23,000 mark. This is the 23rd World Cup right now, so maybe there's something going on there. I'll have to think about it more.
All right, brother. Sounds good. Have a great
All right, take care, man. What's up, Roselle?
What's going on? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. What's up, man?
I'm not too, like well-versed in this gematria stuff, but I will say I was keeping my ears peeled and I heard one number that kind of stood out. It was Mike Brown, the coach of the Knicks. They said 39th coach to win the finals, just in general, with 39.
New York. We called New York. You guys, look at this. I got to show you. For people who don't know this about New York, we call New York 39 land. Every single cipher, again, the 4 base ciphers has a connection. NY, the abbreviation's 39. Right. With numerology, New York's 39. NYC for the city in reverse is 39. New York, comma, NY, like you'd write the city on an envelope, 39. And again, so many rituals, just like the reason we had the Mets to get their 39th loss tonight and the Knicks to close out. We thought that both of those things fit together perfectly. I mean, you parlay those two things together tonight, boom, another nice payout. New York and 39 is one of these things that gets abused in a major way. But, okay, so Mike Brown was, my bad. Mike Brown was the 39th coach to win a championship tonight?
Yeah. 39th coach.
I wish I would have had that before, too, man. That's a great find.
Yeah. I heard that. I was like, there's got to be something. And then when they brought Karl Anthony Towns to speak, and he was like the last person they brought up to speak, it was kind of strange. Like, obviously, his mother passed away and stuff, but he kept driving the point. He's like, you guys know my story, and this is like very divine. And then he made sure to say, like, thanks, Mom, for getting us one. And like divine, and just him saying like, thanks, Mom, for getting this one. It just seems so like, like, I don't know, just strange. But that's really all I really had on this specifically.
Again, you guys, COVID equals 53 with all the 53s. I'm trying to go back and find my post. His mother died April 13th, 2020. I'm going to look more into that, how that might line up with today. So, yeah, appreciate you giving us that information. Thank you, Roselle.
Peace.
All right, have a good night.
You too.
All right, the next man up doesn't have his mic connected. Maddie Kevs, you got to connect your mic. When you get your mic connected, I'm going to bring you up. But until you do, I'm going to go next in line. What's up, Julius?
Hey, Zach, I got a few separate things. First off, with all the 94s you were talking about, it's funny that the New York Liberty are currently 9-4 in the WNBA.
How perfect. Hey, Julius, can you filibuster for me for about 30 seconds and I'll be right back?
Yeah.
All right, Julius. If you guys don't know Julius, he's one of the brilliant minds in our community. I'll be right back.
Another thing I noticed. Wait, hold up. Jalen Brunson, by scoring his 39th points of the game, passed Willis Reed in the all-time Knick playoff record for most points scored in the finals. With all the Willis Reed stuff going on. And then this is kind of a little bit of a stretch, but I thought it was interesting that today's 9,041 days after 9/11, and the Spurs ended with 90 points, and then with all the 41s in this ritual, Alien, San Antonio Knicks 4-1 series, King 41. I know that's stretching a little bit, but thought that 90-41 was kind of interesting. And then the one last thing. Oh wait, shoot, what was it? Oh yeah, with the Knicks getting their 69th win of the year, this really does seem to be synced up with Bernard King. I called him to the live stream about a week ago about how, or not a week ago, whenever Stacey King died a few days ago, because Stacey King died 185 days after Bernard King's birthday. Basketball is 185, like Catholicism 185. And Bernard King's currently 69 years old, and that was a big part of it as well, because I have the Knicks getting their 69th win on the day, leaving 201 days left in the year. We know 69 and 201 come together.
Yep, the Jesuit order. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. But Zach, I was going to let you know personally, because I just said this, but by Jalen Brunson scoring his 39th points of the game tonight, he passed Willis Reed all time for the most points scored in a finals game by a New York Knick.
How many points did he finish with tonight?
45.
Lesser date numerology of 45. Okay.
Yeah.
Ritual 45. So he passed Willis Reed with the 39th points.
Yeah, Willis Reed set a record with 38. Obviously, I think that was 73 finals that Willis Reed played. I'm not. That's a little past my time, but
most of y'all watching this stream weren't alive when Willis Reed was winning the finals.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson scored 163 points in the finals. I'm surprised he didn't score one more for 164, but 163 is the 38th prime. Like finals is 38.
Yeah, and the Knicks win 16-3 in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, that's right. 16-3 and 163 points. He had 539 points in the playoffs. I'm not sure if 539's the 39 part stands out. Let me see. 539. Yeah, I don't see anything real interesting with the 539. Maybe I'm missing it.
And also, I know this dude. I know he don't have a connection to these teams, but I find it interesting that today's 33 days after Brandon Clark died.
Yeah, Brandon Clark and Collins in the news on the same day.
Yeah, and he also played in 309 regular season games, which I thought was interesting. It's kind of close to 39.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I have for tonight, Zach. Appreciate it.
All right. Appreciate all you do for the community, Julius. Great work, man. All right, let's get the next man up. We got Matt Kev, and then we got St. Nicholas. What's up, Matt Kev?
Hey, how's it going? I'm a big fan. I've been following you a long time. I just wanted to point something out that I don't know if anybody noticed, but I noticed this and I made a post about it. So on April 2nd, 2025, on the same day that Carmelo Anthony, the New York Knicks player, was unofficially leaked as going into the Hall of Fame, was the same day that Carmelo Anthony track meet stabbing incident happened. So,
right.
Not only that, the same day that he got sentenced is the same day that the Knicks beat the Spurs in Game 4. So just wanted to point that out and ask if anybody knew about that yet.
Oh yeah, we've been talking about that a lot.
Really? Okay. So I'm glad to hear that. I posted it on Instagram. It seems like not a lot of people are even aware of that.
Yeah, we've covered it since April 2nd, the day it happened. I mean, that was my whole stream
Right.
on April 2nd, 2025. So
Wow. And now connecting it with the
again,
final.
you guys go to ChatGPT and just ask it this question. Go, what are the odds that two top headlines in the same day would be about a person named Carmelo, and show one spelled with a C like the basketball player?
Exactly.
It says 1 in 621 million because it's such a rare name. That's just the name Carmelo. Then ask it, what are the odds that both of their names would be Carmelo Anthony? And again, you guys, it's way better odds of winning the lottery multiple times. All of this stuff is astronomical odds day after day. That's why you know this isn't a coincidence. It's all part of some big, sick joke in a script.
Did any of that information, especially with now them winning, did that
Yeah, we
indicate?
used it today because Carmelo Anthony equals 164, and the finals get closed out on the 164th day of the year.
There you go.
Yeah, no, we've been all over that.
Perfect. I just wanted to make sure. I love it. I love to hear it. Thank you so much.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, take care. What's up, St. Nicholas? St. Nicholas, you out there?
Let me call back, Zach. I cannot hear you.
Okay. While he figures it out, we'll go out to Gabriel. What's up, Gabriel?
Yo, Zach, what up?
Yeah, what's up?
Yo, did you see what the Yankees did today?
I know they won and picked up 42, and they stayed on 27 losses, like a rematch of 27 years ago for these finals.
Okay, nice. Remember when I told you 2,977 days when they last won the World Series?
Right.
Well, look how many days that is. You want me to just tell you?
Yeah.
That's 6,066 days. And they won 4-2 in that series in Game 6 with Andy Pettitte, number 46, pitching to number 11 at first. Then he pitched to number 8. So they won 42-27. All right. Another 9/11 ritual. Aaron Boone picked up his 739 win all time. That's the 131 prime. Championship is 131.
And the Yankees became 13-10 in the division, like 131 championship, as the Spurs fall to 13-10 in the playoffs this year. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And they stayed on 1,031 losses versus the AL East all time on the road.
Yeah, that's
So
the script. It really is amazing how they put it all together, but they do it.
So when I seen that, I also looked at, of course, you guys were talking about it with the Jalen Brunson winning the 80th season of the NCAA with the Villanova, right?
Right. In San Antonio.
In San Antonio. Yeah, well, today marks 2,996 days from that. That's including terrorists of how many people died on 9/11.
Okay. Yeah, perfect.
So pretty
Twin
insane.
Twin Towers in San Antonio once upon a time.
Yeah, pretty insane script of how they do it. And most likely the Knicks, New York's going to celebrate on 6/16, Twin Towers, 166. So
Yeah, makes sense. And I'm pretty sure they're going to show Wemby at the game for France playing in New York.
yeah, like how he's born 846 days from 9/11.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty crazy with the Yankees winning their 42 win today, stay on 27 losses, and all the championship numbers they had. So to New York, I mean, it pretty showed what they
and
did.
The Mets get the 39th loss. The New York number is Mike Brown becomes the 39th coach to win the championship. Just another 39 New York ritual.
Yeah. So it's
What
pretty.
was the 1939 World Series? I know the Yankees won that one. Who'd they beat?
1939, no clue. I wasn't born around that time. I don't know. I haven't done my homework on that.
36th edition of the World Series too, and Knicks just came 3-6 in the finals. They beat the Cincinnati Reds.
Okay, yeah, and it was 36 days when the Twin Towers opened up on 4/4/73 to May 10th, 73. That was 36 days, and they put
36.
out.
Yeah, you guys, they're signaling something. Yeah, the 73 is the year the World Trade Center is open. You guys, look out.
Yeah, and the Knicks player from 44, he had a fake injury, so they took him out. So pretty.
Atlanta's had a lot of rituals this year with Ted Turner and Bobby Cox and the guy who just died. There's something going on because the Mets were playing the Braves today. Yankees.
Wasn't that guy that you just covered 36 years old from the
Yeah. And he set the
Yeah.
sack record on the day, leaving 36 days left in the year. Aldon Smith.
That's crazy. He died. I guess he died around my neck of the woods. So
San Jose.
Yeah. I'm out. I'm out
Look
over
out
here.
for the Sharks. All right.
Well, yeah. All right, man. Well, look
All
at that. 6,066 days from the World Series.
Gabe, isn't it true that you had to get out of your whole work profession during Cooties 19 because all the craziness going on, and you paid the bills using this knowledge?
I did. I really dug deep into it, and that's how I made a living, because they laid me off during COVID-19, and that's how I worked it.
That's why knowledge is power, you guys. I mean, I wonder how many people came across this work going like, whatever, and then they end up getting clot shots. They might not even be here anymore. They might have a heart murmur, all kinds of problems going on right now. That's the problem with projecting knowledge.
I slammed the Yankees today. Then I went a nice little 300 with the Knicks.
Boom. Boom.
Slammed, yeah.
All right, Gabe. Hey, be nicer to people in the chat, Gabe.
All right, Zach. Take care.
All right, man. Keep it up.
See ya, man.
All right, we got Slick St. Nicholas back, and then we got Enema. What's up, St. Nicholas? Uh-oh, maybe you can't hear me again. St. Nicholas? He might be having an audio issue tonight. Normally he hears me.
You can never hear me. I can never hear you when I do these chats. You can hear me? All right. I can't hear you, Zach, but I'm going to go anyway. I'm the guy, I texted you about Aldon Smith. When he actually had passed away, he was 36 years old, and the Knicks were 2-6. And once I saw the Aldon Smith had passed away, they announced it right before the Knicks game. I was like, they're going to win, because I think he was a former Dallas Cowboy, and that's in Texas, and he went down in Texas. So I'm like, boom. So that was 150 right there. And then I send you a tip. I hope you got it. But yeah, just learning from you and the knowledge, pick it up on small things like that. It's unbelievable how I woke up, or you woke me up for that matter. But yeah, wish I could hear you, but I just wanted to let you know, hey, I appreciate everything you do. You're great. Take care of yourself. I'm gone.
All right. It is sad. I mean, isn't it sad, you guys? I feel bad sometimes making money because I realize that someone's death tells us the outcome of the game. But this stuff goes on, and it's not like we're killing these people. We're the ones exposing it, but that's literally what they're doing, you guys. And year after year, and we're here, we're showing you, watch all the weird deaths every time a championship comes around. Did you believe last Saturday when they told you Stacey King just fell over and died? Did you believe that story? He just fell over and died. What's up, Enema?
Hey, so my thing is, like, I hate how, like, I mean, okay, I get it how, like, we're not supposed to, like, just tell everybody about this, but, like, I hate how, like, it's not even just gematria and just this, but it's like the people who are awake, like there's so much of like, hey, don't just tell people about this, or they're gonna think you're crazy and you're gonna lose your family and shit. Like, bro, we're already losing our family. We need to talk about this. The thing is, like, we need to tell everybody, like, if you're suffering from TDS, like, they need to be told they're suffering from TDS. That's the fucking problem. Like, I'm losing my fucking family. We all are. You've talked about your mom before. Like, we're losing our family and we're losing people. And it's like, we don't need to be extreme about it, but we need to make sure that they wake the fuck up to reality. And like, we don't need to tell them about everything. But like, I hate to see my fucking family deteriorate away because they just won't wake up to anything at all. And like the thing is like what they put on us, what they put on you and all of us is like, oh, don't tell them about this shit because next thing you know, they're gonna think you're crazy and they won't talk to you. It's like, no, don't do that, but like at least like talk to them. And like the thing is, it's like we need to find a middle ground of like how we can talk to these people, because like we can't lose our family. I'm literally losing my fucking family. We all are. We're losing our family to this fucking TDS just because.
When you're saying TDS, are you talking about Trump derangement syndrome?
Yeah, mainly. And it's like there's more than that.
What do you mean by the what do you mean we're losing our family to TDS? Can you elaborate?
Because like the people that are awake like us that are following Gematria and shit are so far we're so far different. We're so far on the spectrum away from like I am, like my own mother, and like we all are from our own family members. We're so far awakened that we're losing our own family. And what they tell us and what we even say is that like we can't talk about this. We shouldn't talk about this because we're just going to lose our family. It's like, no, we should talk about this, and we shouldn't just talk about this, but we should wake people up to it. That it's just numbers in Gematria are running the world, but it's like it's the world's not what they see. And like basically what I'm trying to say is like there's so much talk about how we need to be quiet. Like we need to keep speaking up and remind people that like Trump's not even fucking president, dude. Like this shit's not even fucking real. And we don't need to get deep into it, but we need to remind ourselves that like we're literally gonna lose our fucking families and everybody if we don't at least like figure out like a middle ground and like talk about it in a sense that they can understand. Because of course, like we can't just come out here and be like, well, it's all fucking rigged and bullshit and it's controlled by Jews. Like we can't just say all that. But like we have to talk about it. And the thing is like there's so much talk about like, no, don't say anything because blah 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 is gonna happen. It's like, don't say anything, dude. This is my fucking family. This is my mom. And like the problem is like that's getting pushed out so hard. Like they're literally pushing, they're trying to push the fact that if we don't talk about it, then it's not going to be a big deal. No, if we don't talk about it, we're going to lose everybody. We're going to lose our whole fucking family. And that's what I'm dealing with. Like I'm dealing with my mom and my aunts. The only older people left in my whole entire family, I'm going to lose because of TDS. And that's the thing. Like most of it is fucking TDS. Most of it's fucking stupid fucking shit. And it's like,
I thought TDS is something that Trump supporters say to people who don't like him. I thought that's how they use that.
No,
like Trump,
TDS
isn't that what they say?
TDS is mainly like it's mainly like you get so lost in the news that like your whole entire existence. It's like they literally blame their whole history on Trump. And it's like I try to tell my mom like take Trump out of your vocabulary. Don't even say his name. And like when I say that shit, she freaks out. And it's like we need to try to convince these people that are like this. And like anybody who's got politics, basically if you have politics that far up your ass, it's like, dude, you're gonna go crazy. You're gonna have a fucking heart attack. And the problem is that and we've even talked about it, and like you've talked about it, we've talked about it. Like if we bring this type of shit up, they're gonna think we're crazy. We're gonna lose our relatives. Like, no, we need to bring this shit up. We just can't bring it up in detail, but we need to bring up the fact that like, no, it's fucking fake, and like try to prove. Like all I do is be like, where's the wall that Trump was trying to build over Mexico? Where is it at? Like try to remind these people.
So just out of curiosity, do you show them the simple ritualism, like how they called Trump the president-elect for the first time on the anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall, or how he had his convention in Cleveland and now he's the first split-term president since Grover Cleveland?
No. We have to be. My point is like we have to be way more simple than that because they can't.
That is really
and
simple. All
grass
right, peace out, man. He's just talking in circles, isn't he? He just keeps saying the same thing and not saying anything. And then you can't get more simple than that. If somebody can't see the ritualism of everything going on, they're just foregone. They're already done for. What we really have to do, you guys, is figure out how to get this information to the youth. Again, it's just like the quote from the founder of the Jesuits: "Show me the child, and I'll show you the man." And that's why they put you in those indoctrination centers that they call school at a young age, and they get you with the religion at a young age. They control your mind from a young age. They shape you into the person you are, someone who believes in authority and not much else. And that's why, the stuff we do here every day is a million times better than anything you'll ever see on ESPN, but people would rather watch ESPN because they've been trained that TV is what's legitimate. That's what they should watch. What's the point of listening to Stephen A. Smith? He's an idiot. He's wrong about everything. He's not funny. He's not interesting. He's a no-talent hack that's put on ESPN every morning and creates all these headlines, but does it improve your life? Does it help you out? No. Does what we do every morning help you out? Times a million. You put us on TV, the world changes for the better. That's never going to happen because the controllers control the TV and they want to keep everybody stuck on stupid. That's what the TV's for, to keep people stuck on stupid, and stupid people don't realize that. Anyway, I can see why he's not so persuasive, and you guys, by the way, Evan, if you're out there, Evan, I would like you to call in tonight. Somebody did a Gematria debate, and it was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. It was. I wish I didn't watch it. I was getting pissed off this morning watching it. I don't even understand what I was watching. You've been around in the community for a long time, and you let these guys steamroll you saying that Gematria has no predictive power over and over, and you didn't come back with a rebuttal a single time. You guys, if you're going to try and debate this information, make sure you have some talking points, some bullet points, that you know some things, because somebody got steamrolled in a debate by two people that were totally dumb. They even argued that JFK was assassinated in 1969. They argued that Lincoln was assassinated in August. They don't know anything about history. Both of those things are completely wrong, but this person still lost to them in a debate, and I couldn't believe it. This person came out to Oklahoma City with us, and I drove him to the airport to and fro. How can you not come up on a single talking point about all of the predictive power of this knowledge? Again, this is a community that's hit more sports futures than the rest of the world combined times a million. And you let some bozo steamroll you, telling you, it's not just sports, you guys. We've called a million news stories, elections, everything. If you're going to go out and debate this knowledge, you better do it justice. You better do it justice, not get steamrolled by two idiots. He was taking them 2-on-1, but still, they were both retarded. It should have been an easy win. All right, I'm dropping the link one more time. If we don't have anybody else to come on here, you guys can rewind the stream. We hit all the main talking points from the beginning, and there really are a million to go over. But again, you guys, Jalen Brunson won the 80th March Madness in San Antonio. Now he wins the 80th NBA season in San Antonio. 53 years since the Knicks won it. His daddy's last day of being 53 years old. You guys, I hate how he just gets in the lane and has a free, little floater, little teardrop all the time. Where's the big man to come block his shot? He's not that quick. He's not that nasty with the dribbles. He's another guy that has to carry the ball, by the way. That's why I hate watching basketball now. Everybody carries. Brunson, almost every guard in the league has to carry. About the only guy who can dribble in the NBA right now is Kyrie Irving. The whole rest of the league carries the ball. Carry. I can't stand watching this carry shit. How come nobody knows how to dribble a basketball anymore? It's only Kyrie. Kyrie's the only one with real handles. The rest of the league all has to carry the ball to move the ball down the court, including Brunson. Brunson carries all over the place. It's disgusting to watch. All right, last chance. If we don't have anybody else in here, we'll say goodnight. But yeah, it's another script in the books. Again, we cover this stuff on Patreon every day before the game. Stop coming here and going, how come you didn't do it before the game? We did, you guys. I used to do everything for free before games, everything until 2018 when I monetized the work. Since then, every day we do the work on Patreon in the morning for the community that supports the work. And I don't charge that much. It's a very easy entry price. A lot of people charge more per day for much shittier information than I charge for a whole month of much superior information where you actually learn something valuable. You learn some real knowledge. So anyway. Yeah, and if you guys are looking for the page, just search Patreon, Zachary K. Hubbard. Just type it in like this into a search engine like Google, and bada bing, bada boom, you're right there. You just search that, it'll come right up. All right, we got one more guy that wants to get in here at least. What's up, Javi?
Hello?
Yeah, what's up?
Yo, what's good, man?
Yeah, what's up?
Been watching you for a minute, bro. I was just hearing that last dude talk, and he was trying to say something good. Like you said, he was going back and forth, like over and over in loops, but I feel like he was really trying to say something more like how you said, like how those dudes, the two retards beat one dude in the debate, and I kind of going back to that. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I think that dude wanted you to like give him an answer more like something like basic, like that you can tell people, like family and stuff like that. Like,
you don't think that's pretty basic? You don't think it's pretty basic that all Trump ran on in 2016 was building a wall, and they called the election for him on the anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall? That doesn't sound pretty basic to you?
No. No. I get it, bro. I get all of it.
It's not basic that he had his convention in Cleveland in 2016 and he becomes the first split-term president like Grover Cleveland?
It's because these people aren't gonna get it, bro. So it's like you have to dumb it down.
That's why I
like,
said these people are done for. These people are cooked. They're not the ones to target with the information.
You're literally talking like you saying the same shit I say every day. But so it's like this. He was saying all that shit, and I'm like, I've gotten through to people before. Some of my best friends don't listen and stuff like that, but like I've gotten through to older people, younger people, and I think he had a good intention, but it's like some of this shit can be obvious as fuck, and some of it can be like really hard to kind of like decipher. But like what I'm trying to say is just some kind of template or some kind of like oh, you already made the shit like the Gematria for Dummies or something like that, right? Or just something like that, something that can help. Like I mean, I know you have so many books and all this shit. And another thing, bro, I've been watching you for a minute, and I just heard you say you have a fucking bike under your desk. So when you were shaking and shit, bro, it was just tripping me out for a minute. So I had to say that too, bro. Like,
yeah, I'm biking away over here. We're burning calories. So.
But nah, man, like I said, I've been watching the channel for over 10 years, bro, or close to that type shit, and I just appreciate it, bro. And like I said, I still try to get this shit to people as much as I can, the ones that want to listen. So that dude, I was just basically going off the point of him, and like, yeah,
it's just saying the same thing over and over.
Well, it's like, yeah, I mean, like, it's just hard, bro. Like, it's hard to get that shit through to people because the whole Carmelo Anthony shit. Like, I have friends that don't even like want to just accept the fact that, like you said, like you covered it a year ago, Carmelo Anthony being inducted into the Hall of Fame at the same time as all this shit's happening. It's like, come on, bro. What kind of like? It's more like how much more obvious can you fucking get, bro? It's just crazy.
Exactly.
So it's just like those little things, and it's like, it's just, I could keep talking about this shit forever, bro. But it's like just something that like as simple as day, and people still don't give a fuck. So it doesn't, yeah.
This country, the people were purposely made really dumb. I mean, they've purposely made us really stupid with the indoctrination system that we call an education system, the poison that's in our food. God knows what's raining down in the sky. And that's the other thing, too. I mean, people want to argue about what's going on above that. It's so obvious what's going up in the sky. I mean, they're doing tic-tac-toe patterns. Blue skies are turning into gray haze. People can't figure out what's going on. JFK in 1961 addressed the United Nations and said the future of weather control is underway. And people don't think there's a weather modification program. They want to argue about what's happening right in front of their face. They're too dumb to see that. That's what's wrong with this nation, you guys. And that's what's frustrating about being an intelligent person. I was 18 when 9/11 happened, and I couldn't believe how stupid everyone was. Mm-hmm. They told you they couldn't find any planes. They
Yeah.
couldn't find any bodies. They couldn't find black boxes. They couldn't find luggage. They couldn't find a damn piece of debris that was in that building. Not a telephone was intact. That was back in the time of still landlines. But somehow they found the terrorist passports.
Yeah,
Did
fully
people believe
intact.
that? That's how stupid this country is, you guys. That is
So-
so pathetic. You have to be the fact that they have the balls to even report that. See, because they know that they got humanity under a spell. If I told that story as a man on the street, like, oh yeah, there's nothing left in there except for the passports of the people who did it, people are like, shut up, that doesn't even make any sense. But then they report it on TV, and all of a sudden everybody's like, well, it must be true. It was on the news.
Yeah, bro. So, yeah, man, I've been deep diving into this shit. My brother, when I was in third grade, bro, and I remember I was in third grade when 9/11 happened. So I'm probably a few years younger than you for sure. And basically, man, I remember that same year before any of the 9/11 shit happened, my brother put me onto a website called Jeff Milner's Backmasking. And that was like the first thing that kind of made me question everything. It had multiple audios of different songs, and one of the main one was Stairway to Heaven played backwards, and a whole bunch of different shit like the Queen, Another One Bites the Dust, the Pokemon song, the Britney Spears shit. Like, ever since then, I've just been questioning shit, and there's just so much shit I could sit here and talk about, but like, I don't know why people don't question shit and just, I don't know. It's just fucking insane, man.
They don't question. And it starts in the indoctrination centers. It's just like when you were in slave school and you got an A on the test if you just circled C for Christopher Columbus discovered a land where people already lived. That didn't make any sense, but you were taught something that made no sense in slave school. And then you watch nightly news every night that makes no sense. And almost everyone's just conditioned to going along with what doesn't make any sense as long as the authorities said so. I mean, you guys, what kind of pro basketball team drops 41 in the first quarter and can only muster 30 in the second half? In what world does that happen?
Yeah, man. And also, man.
You guys, pro sports have been dumb since I was a child. Everyone worships Jordan. Guess what? The whole league was scripted around Jordan. He got away with everything. He could do it. He could claw guys' eyes out and there'd be no call. If somebody breathed on Jordan, it was a technical.
Oh, like
How dare you breathe on Michael Jordan?
Called that fucking. He was like, "But I'll believe you," and then he blows the whistle.
No, bro. People, Tom Brady, you guys. Tom Brady, a guy who has this just zero athleticism, the most mediocre body. Almost the last pick in the draft. And all of a sudden the Patriot Act happens and then he just comes out of nowhere and the Patriots are so great. Just stupid shit. And people just go along with it. Who gives a shit if Tom Brady can throw a ball to a spot? So can a million guys. So can I. Again, it's not even impressive for an athlete. I don't know why people are. Tom Brady has all day in the pocket. Well, nobody can plan a defense against Tom Brady, this guy that has zero athleticism, that's slow as zero agility, slower than molasses. Bullshit. Pro sports are bullshit. And you guys sit here and like, no, man, he's the GOAT. Do you remember I gave it to you guys for free? I gave it to you guys for free. Greatest of all time equals 188. GOAT equals 43. He won the Super Bowl 188 days after his 43rd birthday as the GOAT, going down to Florida. Remember who was the president when it all happened? Number 43, George H.W. Bush, where the election came down to Florida, where his brother was the 43rd governor and their daddy was the 43rd vice president. All this shit is one big script. And we told you guys for free before the NFL season even started that year, it was going to be Patriots over Chiefs. Shout out to Cousin Mar, who turned $85 into $85,000 off that information and some more, who was literally a homeless man. And the $85 he bet was from making a plasma donation. So for all you guys out there who never use this knowledge to change your position in life, that's your fault. I gave out gems for free from 2013 to 2018 before I monetized this work. Anyway, go ahead.
Fuck, bro. I'm just mad because I'm also a fucking idiot when it comes to shit because I've been following you for so long and I dabbled in sports betting and shit, but like I didn't join the Patreon. I don't know how to explain it. Like I was like, you've been giving shit before Patreon, but it's like I don't know how to explain it, bro. Like and but basically, let me get off that point. What I wanted to say was, so as far as like, okay, I've heard you talk about being like, well, I heard you just early talking about how Kyrie's only do the dribble. So you have some kind of passion for actual athleticism and skill and shit like that. So,
Am I lying about Kyrie?
Oh no, hell no. That's what I'm
Does
saying.
everybody not carry in the NBA now?
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to get to. So it's
Jalen
like,
Brunson's a point guard that he's not even tall and he can't dribble. He has to carry every time he handles the ball. That's how he gets through. Every time he makes his move, he does a big carry. Or that's a whistle, turnover. Get a point guard in here who can actually dribble a basketball, not one who was born to be in the league. Anyway, I played a lot of sports growing up. I know how to dribble. I got nice with both hands. Anyway, go ahead.
No. And that's what I'm kind of getting to. So it's like, for somebody like you just said that having skill, having, even passion for being athletic, not even so much to a fucking sport that they created, because it's like all fucking crazy and shit, but like actually having skill and shit like that, like when it comes to like the scripting of the sports, and especially NBA basketball is my favorite shit as well, bro. And I'm all, as much as I know it's all scripted as fuck and all the numbers and it all makes sense, I'm still like somewhat fucking like bamboozled, dumbfounded by the way they can do it. Like like for instance, like when OG won them the game that last time, like from when Brunson shot that 30 fucking footer and OG tipped it in, like how do they script something like that? That's what I've always just thought, like, you know what I mean?
See, that's the thing that gets me. The way that they ended Game 4, I don't know how they pull off that script, and that's the one thing that's why I start saying, is this some kind of weird black magic that they're using too? Is this what all this blood sacrifice is about? Is this why they call black people when they're really not black, and they sacrifice them left and right for these championships, and then this weird shit happens? Anyway.
No. Go off, bro. But what I'm saying is, like, okay, basketball, right? It's boom, 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 plays by plays until like somebody calls a timeout or there's a dead ball. So for me, I'm always been dumbfounded by the fact that they can script that. It's football. They can rehearse a play by play, and it's easier to script. But basketball is.
Well, remember, the Harlem Globetrotters never miss from beyond half court, which should tell everybody that they use technology. And if they got it with the Harlem Globetrotters who play in NBA stadiums, then they got in the NBA games too. It's just like the way the March Madness tournament ended for Duke this year. They're in a certain win situation. They didn't even have to advance the ball past half court. All they had to do was sit there with the ball, get fouled,
that's
game away.
Instantly what I thought of when De'Aaron Fox didn't fucking dribble the ball out, bro. Like, instantly.
They passed the ball to Mr. Basketball Indiana, who hits it from nearly
Mullins
to win the game.
Motherfucking Mullins, man. That shit, yeah, bro. So it's like.
And they had just come back off that commercial. Again, I'm going to remind you guys.
Yeah,
they
bro.
just come back off that commercial.
I'll be watching, bro. I've been watching you for fucking over or close to a decade, however long you've been going, bro. Like, bro. I haven't never called in. I've always kind of wanted to jump in here and talk some shit with you, bro. And I've just always wanted to understand how the fuck can they do it so precise. Like you said, they have the technology, they can turn it on and off and shit like that. But like, I'm just still like.
Go back and watch Game 7 of Spurs versus OKC. Wemby's shots in the air were all side iron. They shouldn't have been going in, but they just got sucked through the rim. Those shots, I hate watching these 7-footers shoot through. The whole NBA is so soft and weak now. It's disgusting to watch. But again, for anyone who shoots, just look at his shots. How were those going in? I mean, those should have been banking off the side of the iron and just bricks.
Yeah, and like, so as much as I know all this shit, and I still have that stupid regular viewpoint as a fucking fan, you know what I mean? And I still want to like not believe it, but like I'm just a fan of fucking actual competitiveness and real sport and shit. So I still get lost, but I'm far from that. But it's just like fuck, bro. Like how the fuck did they ruin this shit, man? I don't know. It's just crazy.
You're just a sad fan.
I'll remind people too. I had to look up what year it was. God, time flies, man. 2007, you guys. David Blaine with Baron Davis. They played the ad all year. Is it Magic or is it Magnets?
Yeah. Bro, yeah, man. I've been watching since them times, bro. And it's just fucking insane.
The homie was talking about how he saw.
Indeed it is. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you weighing in.
No, for sure, bro. I appreciate it. I'll try to tap out again, man. Definitely have a lot more to talk about, but I appreciate you.
All right, thanks, Javi. Have a good night.
Sir. You too, man.
All right, we got Enema back. He's back for round 2. Maybe I was too rude last time. Let's give him take 2. All right, what's up, man?
No, you're good. No, so Zach, I fucking love you, dude. And anything I say, okay, it's either constructive criticism or it's just fucking something random. Like I'm never gonna talk shit on you or this community. I'm in it 100%. All right, I'm in you guys 1,000%. My thing is that like the world will never ever listen to this type of shit. Like my mom and like your own mom and like
my mom
these
gets
people.
it. My mom doesn't disagree. No, my mom gets it.
Well,
my sister is the only one in my family that doesn't get it, and that's because she's so hard-headed. She doesn't even listen. That's why she doesn't get it. She doesn't listen. My sister, when I start to talk about, I said, Jen, there's the shut up, Zach. The Freemasons are a conspiracy theory. I'm like, there's their logo. They have a lodge not even far from your house. That's what's wrong with my sister. She can't even.
I know.
Listen.
And
anyway, go ahead.
And that's my point. That's the point that the last caller was trying to make too. It's like that shit's too far for them to understand. It's like we have to.
They don't want to understand.
I know, and that
zero effort to understand.
But that's the whole problem. It's like we either give up and let our own fucking family literally wither away and die, or we dumb it down.
Listen, it sounds
as much as we can.
What needs to happen to all these people, whether they're our family or not. They need to wither away and die because they're what's wrong with the world.
But is that what we all want? Because that's my whole point of this. Like, do we want our family to wither? Because I don't want my own. Because I'm going to lose.
To be perfectly blunt, if they're going to be this way, then yeah,
I get it. I get it.
Yeah, because they're ruining the world.
I get it, but it's easier because the thing is, I'm starting to see it when I talk to my family about this, and I start to explain to them like we're $40 trillion in debt. What the fuck did Obama do? Like, Trump's 80 years old. What the fuck is he doing? Like, if you really like simplify it as simply as possible, it starts to kind of make sense. It's like, oh, what, he built a wall. Where is this fucking wall at on Mexico? I thought he built this fucking wall. Oh wait, it's not there. I thought he sold all these Bibles. Where are all these Bibles at? Like, just like the most simplest form of trying to wake him up. Because if we don't do anything like that, then we literally lose every fucking family member everybody that's listening, we lose all their fucking family members over all this stupid fucking shit. And it's like, unless we simplify it. And the problem is, like, we talk about all this shit like with sports and stuff, and it's like, dude, you don't need to take your kids out of sports at all. Like, sports is important. Sports is such a communal, like, sports can really help people if you approach it like the way you are, like the way you talk about it. That's why you're so fucking great about this. But like, it's almost like this type of community preaches that like sports is bad, and like that's how it comes off. Not that you're doing that, but it comes off as like, no, you shouldn't watch sports at all and shouldn't be in sports. It's like, no, sports is fucking important, man. Sports is so fucking important. It's more important than fucking school, to be honest. And it's like, the thing is, like, how do we find this middle ground to where the people that are so far fucking gone can start to warm up to the fucking people like us. Like, that's what we need to figure out, because we can't just fucking give up and like lose on these people, because that's what they want. They want us to fucking give up and lose and be like, do you see it? Like, they want us to be like this. They want us to be like, nope, like they're gone. And so like everybody that's on that level is gone, and we're just going to lose them all. And that makes us farther and farther away from anybody else, instead of us fighting and never shutting up. Because if we talk like you're talking, if we talk like deep with these gematria numbers and all this shit, like it sounds so far-fetched. So we have to figure out how to like narrow it, dumb it down, like the last caller talked about, like, and like I'm talking about, like, we need to dumb this shit down.
Everything I've said is very simple. Jalen Brunson wins the 80th March Madness in San Antonio, and he wins the 80th NBA season in San Antonio. It's 53 years since they won it. His dad, who played for the Knicks, is on his last day being 53 years old. It can't get more simple than that. All right. I detect something wrong with that caller. Then he's saying TDR, and then Obama spent all this money. Something's not making sense about that caller. I'm sorry, guys. I'm done. There will not be a take 3. What's up, Kush Manu? I brought on Kush Manu and he dropped out. But no, I'm not hearing anything that I need to hear there. And yeah, you guys, I know some of you are like, oh my God, did you just say that about your family? Listen, if your family is dead weight, I know it's hard, but we got to look at the reality. All of these brain dead people, which sadly there's a lot of in this country because that's what was manufactured on purpose by the state. You guys should actually look into things instead of just making your whole life about entertainment and bullshit. Actually look into things. Look into who created this school system. It was the industrialists who wanted workers in their factories. Your school system is meant to make you a useful idiot for the ruling class. That's what the whole school system was. It wasn't meant to make you reach your pinnacle or to bring out your creative side. It was to make you a thing that they could use in their factory to build their own wealth. That's your school system. And because they own the government, then they figured out how to mandate so that your ass had to be in slave school to become the person that most Americans are, a brain-dead moron that only responds to commands from authority. That's what happened in this country. Then they started putting poison in your water and telling you it was to build teeth enamel. Then they started putting poison in your food, et cetera, et cetera. Now they got mostly on these drugs that make it so their mind doesn't even work right. And people are so dumb, they come and look at someone like me, they're like, man, he's crazy. You mean because I can think and see through the bullshit? That's what everyone told me after 9/11. I'd say to somebody, I'd say, how can you believe the news story that they couldn't find anything in the World Trade Centers, but they found the terrorist passports? And people are like, are you some kind of conspiracy theorist? It's like, what kind of fucking response is that? Am I some kind of conspiracy? That's your response? Am I a conspiracy theorist? Does it make any sense to you, moron, how they couldn't find the plane, but they found the terrorist passports? You guys, the cabal gets away with the most obvious lies every single day because they indoctrinated people to just accept what authority tells them. It's a major problem. And for everybody who's in that mindset, they just got to go. They got to go. I'm sorry. I don't care if it is your own family or my family. They're dragging us all to hell. All right. Let me go out to Kush Manu. What's up, Kush Manu?
Yo, what's up, Zach? Can you hear me?
Kush Manu?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hello? I'm guessing he can't hear me. Sometimes that's the glitch when you come on here. For some reason, you can't hear me when you come on the show. But if you guys see your icon up here, we hear you. All right, let's go out to Camley. What's up, Camley?
What's good, Zach? Can you hear me, bro?
I hear you. What's up?
Not much, man. In traffic right now. I just wanted to call in real quick. Just with a few of the last callers just saying we need to dumb it down. No, we don't. It's already simple enough.
Exactly. How much more? What more could I dumb down tonight to explain it?
I don't know. It's simple addition, and I don't know. But my whole thing is, I'm not religious. I'm spiritual or whatever. But you know, the Bible is a good reference point for some things, and it just reminds me of, like, I don't even like saying the word like anymore, but it just reminds me of the 33% that have eyes to see, you know. And then, I don't know.
Hold on. What percent did you just say? What's the percentage?
33.
I don't know if 1 out of 3 people has the eyes to see, but I'd like, let's be optimistic. Okay.
I don't know. You know, the Bible, they were dealing with a smaller population back then, so the number might have changed since then. But everybody's not going to see the obvious. And when I don't know, it's like when you talk about the story of Lucifer falling from heaven and he took a third, are they inverting the truth? It's weird, man. It's weird when you start thinking about it, because, like, everybody they can't see the obvious, and the people that do see the obvious, we're the minority. So I don't know. I'm not saying we're
The
following
world's backwards,
Lucifer.
right? When you see the
Yeah,
obvious, you get ridiculed. When you say, don't you think it's weird that Carmelo gets elected to the Naismith Hall of Fame and you've never heard that name from anybody probably in your life, but on the same day, there's a kid who supposedly stabbed someone to death named Carmelo Anthony on the same day, and now they bring back the trial while the finals is going on between New York and Texas, where Carmelo played in both states, and they're like, well, they're all the same. They're like, are you saying there's some kind of conspiracy theory? It's just like, Jesus, man. Oh, God, I mean.
it's crazy. No, I mean, but just look at the world we live in. Not even the world, just the country. 80% of people don't know what to eat. I mean, that right there tells me everything I need to know as far as like the future. Like at this point, if you still eating crap, you probably won't be able to follow gematria, and gematria is very simple, but you don't even know what to put in your body. So I pretty much wash my hands with the rest of the people who just don't seem to get it. There's no point in dumbing nothing down. No, no, we're not dumbing anything down. We don't need dumber people. If anything, it needs to be more complex. But that's all I have, Zach, man. I appreciate it. I'm staying supporting as I usually do, man. You have a good one, bro.
Hey, I got somebody passed this along to me the other day. I hadn't heard it, but it's true. An anagram for conspiracy theorist is a scary story. Do you think there's something subliminal about that? You think people get afraid to question their reality?
Exactly. Exactly. It makes perfect sense. People fear authority and they follow suit, man. Yeah, but just focus on the people who can see. I think that's our best bet, really. Like, instead of focusing on trying to make everybody aware, I think we need to make the army who's already aware stronger. Because
Like
I know it's
I
strength in
was
numbers.
about 10 years ago, I said we need everybody sharing this knowledge out in front of sports stadiums in your local community. I mean, instead of those Christian people out there saying God hates FAGSs like there is in front of every sports stadium. All of you guys who do that, by the way, if any of you are listening, what is wrong with you? Jesus didn't say a single thing about gay people in the Bible. He did say a man should never marry a divorced woman 3 times. If you're going to stand out in front of a basketball stadium about something that has to do with human sex, maybe you should be out there. A man should never marry a divorced woman, because that's actually something he said. Anyway, it's just, instead of that crap in front of sports stadiums, if you guys, when I was out in front of Staples Center educating about Kobe's death, there was one of those people on the intercom drowning me out, talking about how God hates gay people. I was like, great, this is just what we need. This is what we need today. Again, people need to be out on the streets getting this knowledge out.
Right. But if that doesn't work, then we just focus on each other and make each other stronger. And shit, we might not be able to stop the Jesuits, but we can for sure stop them from fully having an effect on us like they have on the rest of the populace. So I think that's our best bet, just trying to make our community stronger. Everybody else, y'all just follow suit, catch the wave if you can. If not, good luck to you.
All right, Camley, appreciate it as always, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Zach.
Thank you. All right, we got Charles up, then Javi's back, then we got Trust Plans, then we got Kush Manu, who might have got it figured out. What's up, Charles?
Hey, what's up, man? I'll be quick. Wonderful things that you're talking about. And that last caller, he said it best, is that if you can't reach out to everybody, at least try to make the people that you do know, make your group stronger. Because, and then I think it was yesterday, you had the young lady that called in, and I could hear it in her voice when she was saying she didn't want to be called, she didn't want to come off as being black-pilled, but she did mention one of the things that I brought up on when I called in on your channel once was like, you just see everybody out here, and I do believe the phones have every bit to do with that dead look in people's eyes, that if there is nothing exciting them on the phone, even just a little bit, then, you know, because I ride the public bus, and you get to just, you know, obviously you get to look at everybody and just see different faces, and those areas, going to a public gym, 24-hour fitness, riding the bus, going to Walmart,
going to the mall. These are places that you can get you can get a feeling of how screwed up we really are as a society. And when I listen to the channels that I listen to that are highly intelligent individuals, they always try to figure out, well, how can we start to change certain things? And when I'm looking around, I'm like, we got so far to go, because you have people that I had said it today. I made a video where I was saying that people don't like other people. When you run into people and they say, man, I don't like people. And I've seen that it's probably because that they have some of the same behaviors that they don't like about someone else. They act out those same behaviors. So when you were saying that we have to find some type of way to get Gematria out there, and if not Gematria, just try to find a way to, because I know it says in the Bible, which I don't, if you want to read it, you want to read it, but it says in there that you're supposed to get in the way of wickedness. I don't care if you believe in God or any type of wickedness. As a decent human being, you have an obligation to get up off your ass and to fight back. I don't have children, and I've talked about this before in my circle. I would really have to vet a woman that I'm going to have children with, because I don't want to come to the point in which I saw what public school did to me. I did not succeed. I see the way my other peers and friends and stuff like that, how they turned out. And I believe the trade-off was, don't worry about this right now. There'll be a certain amount of wisdom that you'll obtain in the real world that you're not really going to look back at high school and say, man, I wish I would have, got those 3 credits and graduated. So the whole point is that I see how, as a people, this work, they cannot come out and say before a sporting event, hey, you guys, today we are hosting the Knicks and the Spurs, and we have 4 people that are willing to give up their lives for this event. And they can publicize it, put them in a guillotine, whatever you want to do, chop their heads off and say, hooray, now let's get the game underway. Because if they had it there, if these organizations, like in the movie Him, I tend not to let my imagination get the best of me with that stuff, but that's how they would probably prefer to do it. We have sporting events, and we have to offer up human beings to have these events need power.
Charles, let me remind you, I don't know if they still do it in the slave school curriculum, but they taught us in slave school that the Mayans used to sacrifice people for their big sports events for the king. It's obvious that all that stuff is still going on today. It's just so obvious. Go ahead.
They just had to turn the knob down. I don't know when this started, but people just could. I mean, I really do believe from all of these, I made a video about this months ago. America has a sick infatuation and a fetish for that American Horror Story type of genre of horror. Just, Terrifier, all of these different, things that most people, I tried to show that to a friend, and she was like, can you please turn it off? I can't. I saw her, it almost seemed like she was witnessing in real life, that type of gore. So I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm pretty sure at one point, give it about 25 years, they'll be able to say, hey, before the Super Bowl, somebody who is a super fan wants to sacrifice themselves on the altar for Patrick Mahomes. Hooray, hooray. Thank you for watching.
By the way, you guys, hold on. Don't forget that the day that Patrick Mahomes passed Len Dawson as the best Kansas City Chief quarterback, they weren't married yet. His fiance's dad dropped dead at the game. I mean, come on, man. As he passes Len Dawson, and don't forget how they sacrificed Len Dawson for the Chiefs Eagles Super Bowl. He died on Kobe Bryant Day, and then the Super Bowl that year was Chiefs Eagles. Kobe from Philly.
Yeah.
All this stuff, the ritualism's so obvious once you see it, but I don't know how people don't blink an eye. They even report it on ESPN. They're like, what a day for Mahomes, but also a day of tragedy. And it's just like, how don't people see this? Go ahead.
Because we're overstimulated. If out of 100%, the farther back we go, we have more free time to focus on maybe 3 or 4 things a day. Now there's so much going on. When you scroll on Facebook and see RIP to whoever's passed away.
Hold up, though. The average American man, a lot of them, sports is the pinnacle. Isn't it?
Yes.
For a lot of men, sports is number one. I mean, they love it more than their own kids, their family, their job. It's like the thing that's getting them through life, that they're making money to go to the game. So when they're watching this stuff and they're watching ESPN that night, they're seeing the same stuff. Why is it not registering like how weird all this stuff is that just keeps happening? I mean, the Bears that year. They're the shittiest team, and then Dick Butkus dies before Thursday Night Football, and they just come out and blow out the opponents. Everybody knows about 42 and Jackie. A couple of years ago, they announced before the game, hey, it's the first time in NFL history it's an all-black ref crew. And then the score at halftime is 42-0, and nobody blinks an eye. I mean, stop. Go ahead.
It's a reflection. The people that we look up to and the people that are, it's a reflection of the state in which we're in. Donald Trump, again, that reminds me of the movie Idiocracy. I think the president is Terry Crews. He has a blonde wig on. He has like a Tommy gun on stage doing something. And I just seen that. It was like, dude, when Trump calls me, woman, you're so stupid. You're a stupid person. Like we're not too far off from that type of language being, like I said on here, I said in the comment, and I don't want anyone to get upset with me. This is just my personality. But the minute there are ways that I can gauge a person's personality and if they're worth my time. And one of the ways is if in every sentence or every other sentence, it's a like and a or it's fucking and like the caller the other day, I down there got sick where you see I'm a black dude. The way I decide to use vulgar language is I'm very conservative. So when I'm hearing people use that language out loud on, a caller on the bus, it makes me cringe. But that's how I can understand that, man, dude, we're really screwed because we watch these movies. I want to go back to the school thing because that guy was saying something about sports. And I told my cousin the other day, I said, dude, if you could redo it, would you want to play sports? And he said, man, I don't think I would want to do. He said, every day I look at my knee and see that scar. He said, I don't know what I was thinking. I was just doing it because everybody else was doing it. And I looked, my brother Devin, he played tennis. He backed out of football because of an injury. And I just see these things like, bro, we really do just kind of send everybody through this factory, standard system of like, you send them off for 8 hours if they have after school events. And it's almost like, let's be honest, you go to school to socialize. You go to school you be with your girlfriend, to be with your, socialize, try out your new clothes, see if everybody's listening to the same stupid ass rapper or whatever they're doing. And then you come home. If you are fortunate to be a child that actually care and can take that academic stuff and man, I'm taking pre-cal and doing all of these different things, then you're ahead of the curve. But to get this, sorry for that, guys, I'm sorry. To get this to children, go back to what that caller said. Make the people that you know stronger, because the rest of the world, there are more idiots. There are more senseless, inconsiderate, lazy, like these cartoons you see, The Walking Dead, whatever analogy you want to use. There are not a lot of people up at 1 o'clock in the morning talking about dude, you're a historian. That's something I've been wanting to tell you. If you're nothing else, you're a historian. There are some things that I'm like, I was never taught that in school. I never even heard of stuff like that. I don't care if you never mention another number ever again. The things I've learned, I'm like, I went to a school that was, I think we were a 3A or 4A, and we had a girl, she went to Katy High School. I don't know if you ever heard that. It's out here in Texas. And she came back, and she would finish the work, or sometimes she would not have, because her grades were just on a level she didn't get the type of work we got. And she was like, y'all are so far behind. She was like, we're like 3 semesters in front of you guys. What's going on? And I was like, I don't understand. So I see it on a small scale of like, bro, they're not teaching us anything of substance. The workshop, they took the workshop out of my school. And it just became something so obvious. Like, there are orders coming from the top. Everything that we're involved in, movies, sports, all of it, it has to be fake, contrived. It has to be that way. I don't know. I think that's some type of Orwellian thing of like, if we make you look at ugly stuff, stupid stuff that ends with cliffhangers, we are trying to drive you. Because I'm with you, bro. And the Bill Gates thing, I'm with all that. And trust me, if I had to take myself and sacrifice myself, like, yeah, Charles, you're a useless eater too. All right, so be it. I gave it one hell of a try when I was here. I tried to contribute to society, work, treat my fellow brother and sister the way I want to be treated. I don't care if they white or black or whatever you are. And if I'm the one that have to go, then I understand that, yeah, because there are a lot of poor people, low middle class people having children. I mean, I can use my brother as an example, and I see the way he's raising those kids. They're going to be very, very insufferable adults, very difficult to deal with. And I'm just thinking like, yeah, man, I'm kind of under the mindset of like, just come on with it. Stop playing with us. Stop making us take medicines and scaring us. Just do it already. So that's it. I'll shut up. Thank you for taking my call.
Appreciate it as always, Charles. You have a good night, man. Thank you.
Good night.
All right. Always appreciate when Charles calls in. What's up, Trevor?
Hi, Zach. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I've been listening, and I've been listening to you for a while. I had first heard you on a radio program, Beyond Ground Zero, with Clyde
Awesome.
Lewis.
Yeah, they
and I had heard you on there a couple times. And like after the first one, I went to all your videos and I started watching your videos. Next day, I joined Patreon, been on Patreon.
Thank you.
Top tier the whole time. And the one caller, I haven't ever called in, so this is my first time, but the one caller that says you got to dumb it down, you don't have to dumb anything down. All they got to do is get your books, read your books. I mean, when you float through 1968 and you go through those things, all the events that lead up, and then, Junior being the 43rd president, winning in the state of Florida where his dad was 43, all those things. Like,
by the way, something that's not in those books, because I didn't know it then, look it up, you guys. The day that George W. Bush was born, the governor of New York, who was Governor Newey, July 6, 1946, called for the first meeting to build a World Trade Center complex. He was born the day that happened, you guys. That's how long of a script we're living out. Think about it.
And when you start to tell people this, and you can tell in the first few minutes, they're either going to get it or they're not going to get it. And there's no sense wasting it on those people. You can talk to them till the cows are blue, and they're shut off. So I say, cut bread. I don't need to talk to them about it. I don't need to associate with them. I mean, if I work with them, I just do my regular work with them and that's it. But they're just never going to get it. There's people that are pre-programmed so hard on what school tells you, and they just follow that, listen to the government, and sit there with their hand out. waiting for a retirement check that's never going to come.
That's why we have to figure out a way to get to the youth before the indoctrination. That's why they win, because this indoctrination of people when they're young, it's a proven method. That's why they do what they do. They turn people into the things they need them to be for this tyranny to go on. The only way to break it is to get to the youth first. That's why all you guys are out there also with your program like, no, kids shouldn't know about that. There's a way to introduce this to children that it could be fun, interesting, and exciting. Listen, if I'm telling a 7-year-old who's starting to watch basketball, hey, don't you think it's interesting that Jalen Brunson won March Madness in San Antonio, and that was the 80th March Madness, and now he wins the NBA Finals in the 80th season in San Antonio? Some 7-year-olds are going to have the mind to go, yeah, that is pretty interesting, and then you can show them a few more things. Look, his dad's 53 years old. He's going to turn 54 tomorrow. It's been 53 years since the Knicks won the Finals. I used to do this kind of stuff with 5th graders. They loved it. I mean, that's a little bit older than 7, but around 10 and 11, they need it at a young age to start to see how rigged the system is. You know why? Because they're growing up in this rigged system that's going to exploit them if they don't learn.
I 100% agree. And I think they should learn gematria 1st or 2nd grade, because I'm older than you are, but when you go to kindergarten, the first thing you're learning is ABC to Z, and right there underneath it is 1 through whatever. So the whole time you're in class, you see all the letters with the exact number underneath it.
It's
So
amazing what young children can learn, you guys. Listen, my daughter, she has a grandma that speaks Spanish to her. She understands Spanish because the grandma's always asking her questions in Spanish, and she's pointing to what she's saying, and she's going, sí. Of course, sí is yes in Spanish. So I'm like, wow, my daughter understands those long sentences, huh? And then my wife speaks Burmese to her. She understands everything in Burmese. Of course, she understands everything in English. My daughter's 18 months old. She's not special. At a young age, your mind really absorbs things. You can really learn to understand. Had all of us been taught 3 languages from the time we were born until we were 18 months, we'd all be the same. I was just at the library, and there was a father there who speaks German and a mom who speaks English. The child understands everything. Again, we've been lied to about everything. Children need the right education from a young age. That's not what happens here. Here it's about, why do we teach kids about dinosaurs as the first thing? What the hell does that have to do with anything? It's a joke. It teaches them about death and that we could all die in a second. It's some scary story at the end of the day, that we could all just be wiped out in a second. Again, is that the first lesson a child needs at age 5, that the dinosaurs were here and they went extinct? Because that's what we've been doing in slave school for a long time now. Anyway, go ahead, Trevor. Thank you for calling in tonight, too. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I don't, the whole dinosaur thing, I mean, yeah, I definitely think that teaches them the whole, death. Kind of like you're put here to just do your job like the dinosaurs did and die, right? Because the only thing you learn in school is you have to be there at a certain time. You take lunch at a certain time. You get to leave at a certain time. What's that prepare you for? That just prepares you to be a 40-hour idiot in the whole rest of your life. It's just training us to go into the industrial complex and just keep on working. And I mean, that's kind of,
that's even why they use the bells at the break, because that's what it used to be at the factory. That was all part of the training for the factory. That's why we have bells when the class is over.
Right. They did the bells, and then you go to a factory and it has whistles, and some people are just turned off to it. And when you start to mention it, it's conspiracy things. But I've tried to show them in the sports how it's rigged. But some of these people are just such fanboys. They're never going to let go of that. They don't care what you're saying.
Ego. They can't admit that they've been fooled their whole life.
Right. And like last year's World Series, like in spring training, I only picked 2 teams. I had the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. Who went to the World Series? Everybody was mind blown. They're like, how'd you know that? And I'm like, well, it was the 121st season. And then the whole 54 or whatever it was with the Dodgers right before the season started. I just put money on those 2. And I didn't win tonight with the Knicks. I tried to hedge my bet. But at the beginning, before the basketball season started, I only had 4 teams picked. I had the 76ers, because I thought somehow it was tied to Netanyahu. And 76.
The 76 piece is just how the Syracuse Nationals became the Philadelphia 76ers, and just this Pope and Carmelo. That it was there, but it was more about the Knicks. Sometimes the riddle is more complicated than it actually is, because there's something up with 76. For you guys who don't know, the season began on a 76 date numerology on Netanyahu's 76th birthday. He went to high school in Philly. And now they've made the March Madness tournament starting next year, 76 teams. That's part of why you had the Penn Station stabbing right before the first game in New York. But anyway, go ahead, Trevor.
Right. So before the season started, I picked 4 teams. One of them was the Sixers, one of them was the Pistons, one of them was the Cavaliers, and one of them was the Spurs. Who the hell did the Knicks go through? They went through all them teams pretty much, except the Cavaliers had to win the East. But yeah, I don't know. It happens.
In a sense, I wish I'd thought about the 80th March Madness tournament, but I can't remember a year where they did it like this. So that's something to pay attention going forward. We're always learning new things. They synced it up with the 80th March Madness this year.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to say that it is all rigged. That if you belong to the Patreon and you get to hear things. Now, sometimes I think callers call in and try to go too deep on things. And honestly, I love hockey because hockey is just simple. And I think if you keep it simple, you're going to win more often. It's when you try to decode so much that you're trying to bend the narrative to your own way,
right,
that you kind of lose track. And then people will say something and they'll be like, oh, that sounds really convincing. So then you want to switch your bet, and it doesn't always work out.
We had a caller doing that through this whole tournament. I said, man, Spurs won by 12, game 1 in 99. Now Knicks can win 12 straight. I mean, it seems pretty straightforward. Spurs won by 13 in game 2. Knicks can win 13 straight in game 2. And again, you guys just look at that box score from 1999 for game 2, 80-67. Come on, in the 80th season, the Knicks pick up their 67th win in game 2. That's exactly what I've been talking about for all these years. That you pay attention to the numbers, you see it was all just one big script. To the point, they're using technology to ensure outcomes. This stuff goes on year after year if you pay attention. And for all the things that we've caught on to and proven, I bet you that half of the narrative we overlooked and missed. There's still more to add on to the puzzle that we didn't catch or see.
Right. And it's just all the different sports. I mean, even NASCAR, like the beginning of the year, nailed it with Tyler Reddick. You know what I mean? Like, boom. And I can't remember who called in on that show, but that dude brought a lot of good things. And
Jason,
I didn't know anything about no NASCAR, and I just went ahead and threw $25 on it.
Boom.
Yeah. You just got to know the knowledge, got to decode some things, do some things on your own. Some people bring some really good things. Some people, like I say, they try to go a little too far overboard. I kind of like to keep it simple. I always liked when Dave would call in with the pictures and stuff. I think a lot of that, where they show you on ESPN. So I would start to watch some of those things.
I was going over the different pictures. Hockey. This front page of the hockey page would be the team that was going to win that night. That simple.
Right. So, all right. I appreciate your time, and thank you for everything you do.
All right. Thanks, Trevor. Appreciate you supporting the work.
Yep.
All right, take care. And that's what I mean. I mean, Trevor came into this at a hard stage in the game, because I didn't go on Clyde Lewis for the first time until, I don't know, what was it, a year and a half ago? Time does fly. Maybe it was 2 years ago. But when we first started this, you guys, it was so much easier because the patterns were so much more consistent. Ever since they legalized gambling all over the place, I swear to God, they flip a lot of scripts too, just because I think there's too much money a certain way, certain times. But even now, even though things are more difficult now, you're smart with this. You can still get nice payouts on the regular, like Chris down there, who's won consistently year after year, who supported the work, who's come out and pounded payment with us from Oklahoma City to New York and paid for his trips all along the way by just turning small bills into big bills. Everyone can do the same thing as Chris. What's up, Kush?
Yo, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, but you're quiet.
Oh, sorry. Anyhow, were you going to cover the UFC at all?
We covered it on Patreon. Yeah, we've gone over it.
No. I just the narrative, not any of the wins. just in the public streams. I know a lot of people.
Oh, I gave out
They
a clue.
watch.
I gave out a major clue in this stream for a pattern to look out for in tomorrow's games.
Oh yeah.
Or, nice.
And just about keeping it simple for
Here,
people.
I'm going to remind you all. President equals 133. White House equals 133. Government equals 133. Flag Day equals 133. Trump's birthday, the day of the fight's Flag Day. Remember that, 133. Okay, go ahead.
Just to add, to keep it simple, I always have 4 $1 bills on me, and they each have their, their Federal Reserve stamp. And if you have them right, you can have 1 is A, 2 is B, 3 is C, 4 is D, just on the dollar bills. It's right there in front of people.
All 12 of the reserve banks, you guys, all 12 of the reserve banks have a letter to represent the bit. A through L, 1 through 12. Yep, gematria right on your dollar bills.
Right. But just to add for the little narrative of UFC, I don't know if you heard, but they've been just kind of like promoting this stuff, which I never heard before, but they said 13 former U.S. presidents are known to have participated in wrestling. Have you heard that before?
14?
13.
13.
Obviously, the 13 colonies and all that. But it's George Washington, John Adams, Andrew Jackson, Zachary Taylor, Franklin Pierce, Abraham Lincoln, James Garfield, Ulysses S. Grant, Chester A. Arthur, Theodore Roosevelt, William Howard Taft, Calvin Coolidge, and Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Well, what
And
about
among those,
Trump hit Vince McMahon at WrestleMania?
I think they mean actual wrestling, because it says that among the 13, only 4 presidents are actually inducted in the National Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Huh. I didn't realize that. I'm going to look more into that. That is interesting.
Yeah, and obviously they did the weigh-ins in front of Lincoln, the Lincoln Memorial. Lincoln is actually known for his wrestling past, having reportedly won 299 out of 300 matches.
Okay, interesting.
Insane. But just to add for people that don't.
Kush, keep sharing. I have to go in the other room, but I'm going to be listening. I'll be right back in 30 seconds. Keep going.
Alrighty. As of now, it's Trump's birthday, Flag Day. The Octagon will be on the South Lawn. The Octagon equals 45. South Lawn equals 47. Crypto.com equals 47. With there being a $1 million crypto bonus for whoever has a great fight. For those 45 and 47 decodes, obviously we know Trump is the 45th and 47th president. And of course, Trump, Democrat, Republican president, White House, heavyweight, fighters, France. That's all relation to what's happening at the White House. Those all equal 47. Tomorrow, the national anthem will be sung by the Zac Brown Band. Zac Brown Band equals 201, which I find very funny. Obviously, Order of Illuminati equals 201. The Jesuit Order equals 201. I don't know if you heard that, but Zac Brown Band will be doing the national anthem. Zac Brown Band equals 201. Obviously, if you're in the community, you know how 201 is. Earlier, you guys were talking about 76. Obviously, I was definitely on the 76ers thing all year. But anyway, I don't know if you knew, but the event was actually considered to be named UFC 1776 before 230. That didn't happen, but I find it interesting because Donald John Trump equals 76. Obviously, Skull and Bones is 76. Freedom Fighters equals 76. Where it's going to happen at Pennsylvania Avenue equals 76. You have a Spaniard fighter, Spain equals 76. Ilya Taporia equals 76. Justin Gaethje equals 76. They're fighting for the lightweight belt. Lightweight belt equals 76. You have Pereira and Gane fighting on the co-main event. Pereira versus Gane equals 76. And you have 2 other fighters fighting other people. But Ayman Zahabi equals 76. Rufi equals 76. I mean, just a bunch of stuff there. But if you actually relate just the UFC to why it's being scripted there, UFC equals 51, UFC Freedom equals 51. They're having the event for fans at the Ellipse. The Ellipse equals 51. And obviously Conspiracy, Freemason, History, those all equal 51, excuse me. And there's a bunch of other stuff too. They even have what is it here? I found obviously there's UFC is 30, Octagon is 30, relating to Bible's 30, Saturn's 30, even down to Trump's original last name or his family name, Trump equals 30, just tying into history that Trump and the UFC have had together. And then the President's South Park, where it's happening, it encompasses 52 acres just south of the White House fence. Obviously, White House equals 52. Paramount Plus, where it's happening on, or being distributed by, equals 52. Foundation equals 52. Man, I mean, there's just so many connections on why it's, you have, for instance, United States of America equals 132. You have Cyril Gahn, his record is 13-2. William Morris Endeavor equals 132. Endeavor equals 132, which is the fight promotion that's happening under. Obviously, there's 132 rooms in the White House, and actually, William Morris Endeavor Group. People think that the UFC is not scripted, but they're the same group that owns the WWE, the most scripted sport ever. So they own wrestling and they own the UFC. How funny. Freedom Fights 250. If you're using Derek's calculator, it equals 322. How funny. We definitely whooped on the UFC 322 last November. So I'm looking forward to getting into that and doing that as well. And a bunch of 56s, man. I mean, we're celebrating the.
Nothing happened to your sound, Kush. It's clicking. All right. Appreciate it, Kush. Thanks, man. We're going to get Marilyn, Elohim, Justin, and Big Money in here, and then I got to wrap it up because I got to get up early. Whoa. Oh, hold on. I skipped Marilyn. Hold on. Let me go to Marilyn first. What's up, Marilyn?
Hey, Zach, how are you?
Doing well. Thank you.
How's Ruby doing?
Well, she's sleeping right now, but all's well with Ruby.
Okay, great. So, Zach, I just want to, I'm from New York, I was on your channel before, but I just want to briefly discuss the ritual that they did with Michael Jordan by Brunson scoring 45 points. I think Michael Jordan scored 45 points in 1998, right? I think.
He wore a 45 jersey for a second, too. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. He wore 45 jerseys and 45 Trump.
Good one. Yeah.
Who was at the game?
His dad has the same birthday as Trump. It's their birthday tomorrow.
Yeah, today's his birthday, the 14th, right?
Oh, you're ahead of me. Yeah, it's almost
that's
tomorrow.
I'm sorry.
West Coast. Yeah.
Yes. So I'm just here. So I think the so-called Knicks fans are tearing up New York right now. So I just want to chime in and say that and keep doing what you're doing, Zach. Keep speaking truth to power.
I appreciate that, Marilyn. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Zach. Love you.
You have a good night. Same to you. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, little Ruby, man. She's enjoying life. What's that, B. Louis?
Man, I just want to say congrats to the winners, man. The greatest teacher, man.
What's with your arch nemesis, man? He always goes for the underdog, and he faded them all 3 games. They were a big payout. Why?
The guy with the 1-4 birthday gets closed out 4-1.
Or he goes 1-4 in the finals. Yeah, the alien. You
Correct.
got Wemby 1-4 goes 1-4 in the finals. And come on, the game where he just threw it to his opponent's back at the end and just blew the game. I mean, come on, man.
I just want to say, Zach, the guy literally fades. It's not even fading me. It's literally fading the community. Like every day, it's like.
It is kind of annoying. It really is. It's like, why are you coming in with these decodes every day going against winning narratives? It doesn't make sense.
It absolutely makes no sense. And it's not even. I like the other day you said, I'm not a mean-spirited person. It's no hate in my heart. It's just like stuff like that has you raising your eyebrows a bit. Every day, like you're going against.
Because
going
seriously,
this.
how do you fade the game two narrative when you see it? It's like you really don't think they're going to win 13 straight in light of the score in '99, where they won by 13 and it was 67-80, and the Knicks can get their 67th win tonight in the 80th season. You really don't like that narrative with all this big fat value out here? And he's like, nah, because I measured from Texas's birthday, and like what?
But anyway, I just want to say, I just want to come on here to really congrats to everybody that capitalized tonight. I wish I could send you tips, but you know, my Cash App unfortunately got banned. Guys, can you believe my Cash App literally got banned because I only used the Cash App to send Hubbard my tips, and they flagged it for I guess fraud. I guess because you're literally the only transaction on there. So,
Just wait in the future when they got a social credit scoring. You won't even be allowed to get food for the week. You tried to tip Hubbard. You're going to starve this week.
anyways, man, that UFC thing today in DC, Zach, I had to leave, man. I couldn't even go in. I just couldn't participate in you know, in an environment full of all just the goyams around and just crowded events like that. You know, I don't really like crowded events like that, you know, especially when you're around all the goyams, you know.
Yeah,
but
I do know what you mean.
but anyways, congrats to the winners again. What a great NBA finals. I should have really went 4-0, but I let those guys deceive me.
You win
Was it
against
game
your
4?
instinct. Yeah, I usually, when I go against my initial thought, it usually gets me too. So
Was that game 4, Zach? It was game 4, right?
you went 4-1. You would have went 5-0 if you just stuck with your guns.
Yeah,
Or if you would have
anyway,
played like your teacher told you and took the points, you would have still gone 5-0.
it's all good. It's all good. I'll see you guys there tomorrow. Anybody that's is in the stream right now and you're not on the Patreon, you guys are really missing just, you know, really this right here is a small percentage of what you really get on the Patreon, you know. The Patreon really it covers everything. So anyways, good luck to everybody and shout out to Open Up, one of the GOATs. We need a Mount Rushmore in the community. That Open Up is definitely on there. So shout out to him. And yeah, see you tomorrow morning.
All right. Have a good rest of your evening. Take care, Eloy.
Yep.
Take care, man. All right, we got Justin and Big Tony. What's up, Justin?
Oh, hey, can you hear me?
I hear you.
Oh, I just wanted to add on something you touched on earlier. But when it comes to dumbing it down, I don't necessarily think you need to dumb it down, but for some people, I feel like it would be very helpful to have, I guess, some kind of statistical work towards all these decodes. So, you know, like what's the probability of, you know, these numbers all lining up, you know, and obviously it probably takes a lot of math to do that, but I think that would be, I guess, a step in the right direction, because I don't think dumbing it down is the answer. But I think, I guess, a different way for someone who's more of an like analytical mind or something, in order to grasp the information, I think it would be helpful for that. But I was just wondering what your thoughts on that were. Yeah.
Well, you know, I tried out a video like that with showing what the odds of the Carmelo Anthony stabbing on the same day as Carmelo being elected to the Naismith Hall of Fame. And, you know, we were pretty much at 1 in a billion. That video hardly got any views, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, we could do an analysis like that on everything. I can figure out a way to calculate what are the odds that Jalen Brunson would win the 80th March Madness in San Antonio and then win the 80th NBA season in San Antonio. I'd have to really think about. I need a math professor to actually help me figure out how to set up a formula to calculate that. But you know, that's an extremely unlikely event too. I mean, we're probably not far off from the 1 in a billion mark again. But here we are. So
Yeah. You can even use AI, you know, to I mean, obviously
That's
you'd have
right.
to
That's
check
what
the
I did for
word.
the Carmelo thing. That's what I did for the Carmelo thing. I could try and set this up asking the AI to figure out a way to calculate what the odds of this are.
Yeah, I think that would be a very helpful. I guess another, because there's only a certain amount of people could ask what you're already saying. So I guess just finding different ways to, I guess, reach out to people that have different ways of thinking is probably a better way instead of just dumbing it down or whatever. Um, but yeah. Also, I also wanted to add on the whole like black pill argument or whatever. I kind of see where you're coming from, where you say, oh, people are kind of too far gone, or whatever. Obviously, some people are family and stuff. But I mean, for me, I think even though I'm probably the only person in my family that thinks the way I do, like when it comes to in terms of I guess what reality is and how the world really works. But just because of that fact, they're all Christian, they're all religious and stuff. They all have their own beliefs. But I wouldn't give up on them, I guess. Like for example, like let's say Ruby grows up and she's not on board with, let's say, anything you're saying, right? I don't think, like, I feel like you wouldn't give up on her. You wouldn't say, oh, the world would be better off without my daughter, because, like, let's say she's just not on board with like anything you're saying or whatever. um and I see where you're coming from when you say, obviously, they're part of the problem. But I don't think, I guess, just having that outlook is right. I mean, obviously, we all have our own opinions and stuff. Um, but yeah, that's all I really had to add for that. And I also wanted to ask you about the UFC card. So there's only 7 fights. There's no prelims. There's only 7 main fights. What does that say to you?
7 is one of those super special numbers to masonry, and it is the Masonic city. So
Hmm. Yeah, a weird thing too, because I've heard about you talk about 42 and I guess like rituals with African Americans. But there was a late addition to the card because I follow UFC. There's a late addition to the card, Josh Hokett versus Derek Lewis. It wasn't originally supposed to be on the card, but Trump ended up telling Dana White, he's like, "Hey, why isn't Derek Lewis on the card?" I don't know if you know who Derek Lewis is, but he's a black heavyweight, fights in the heavyweight division. But the person he's fighting, Josh Hokett, he pretty much got on the card because Trump wanted Derek Lewis on the card. And it's weird because he's fighting down in the rankings, which he should be fighting up because he just beat another black guy, Curtis Blades. He just beat him, who's ranked higher than Derek Lewis. But I was just wondering, what are your thoughts on that? I don't know if you run the numbers, but
we ran all the numbers for UFC on today's stream, on our Saturday stream. So yeah, that's what we do on Patreon, man.
For sure. But that's all I had to add.
All right.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, appreciate it. All right, what's up, Big Money?
Hey Zach, how are you?
Doing all right. How you doing?
I'm good. It's late over here, but I stayed up to listen to all of this. It's an interesting thing that I caught tonight with Brunson's 45 points. I went to a previous video on your channel. They were talking about Michael Jordan, how he tied Michael Jordan with 45 points to close out an NBA Finals, and his teammate Stacey King passed away literally like not too long ago.
Last Saturday.
Yep. And I went back to the video and it dawned on me that Phil Jackson, who was Jordan's coach, and Stacey King, they played on the same team. He played for the Knicks, played for Red Holzman.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it like when I was putting all these pieces together with all the 53s that you put on there, and then on top of, the whole storyline with everything that was going on, I realized that whole everything related to Stacey King's, so-called death of him, slipping down the stairs or whatever the fuck it was, and it dawned on me that Phil was actually a Knick at one point. I didn't even know this until I just went on Wikipedia to look this up, and I'm just like, wow, they really know how to, fucking pull these rituals off and devil magic, witchcraft, whatever you want to call it.
Aldon Smith today with his big number 99 jersey as we get the conclusion of the exact reversal of the 99 finals, and the NFL season's about to kick off for the first time ever on a Wednesday on 9/9. I mean, it's just, the stuff is sick. Again,
Yeah.
at 36, set the sack record on the day leaving 36 days left in the year, and the Knicks become 3-6 in finals.
Yeah, and all the Mamdani jokes with him becoming mayor. And I don't know if you mentioned it, but Osama bin Laden died 53 days after his birthday.
I was telling Arthur that last Saturday for his 53 list. I think Arthur left off that the 99 finals began on Rick Adelman's 53rd birthday, and he died right before these finals kicked off. And again, Trailblazers equals 53, took the Blazers to the finals twice,
Yeah.
versus Pistons and versus Chicago, speaking of Jordan, and dies right before these finals get underway.
And then Jordan's teammate dies literally during the finals. And it's crazy with Rick Adelman too, is that he coached a lot of the teams that a lot of these Knicks players, because they all got traded there. Like he coached the Timberwolves, the Blazers, the Kings, literally everyone on the Knicks, like from the coach to like a few players, all used to be on these teams, and they all ended up there. So it's just so bizarre how they do this stuff, and who really knows, like, it, if they're
Who
even
really
like.
knows? Watch the movie Knowing. Again, it's all about the numbers, and you find out at the end who's doing the number rituals. It could be the truth. So
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rewatch it. I saw it. I just haven't seen it. I just got to put it together. It's late over here, but thanks again.
All
And
right.
keep up the good work.
All right, thanks, Big Money. Take care, man.
Yep.
All right, we got the beer guy, and then we got Bobby. What's up, the beer guy?
Hello, can you hear me?
You're good.
Yes, so cool. I come on the show a couple of years ago, to be fair. That was when you had to do calling. I managed to get some sort of thing to let me allowed to call America for like pennies rather than pounds. I'm in the UK. I've now so I'm going to be quick. I somehow managed to fuse the left and right hemisphere of my brain, so now I don't think logically only or creatively only. I now think logically and creatively all at the same time. I've built a website you might want to have a look at. With all this AI stuff going on, it's easy for anyone to build a website now. So it sounds quite funny, but I think I've reverse engineered Gematria, but it's not really like reverse engineering Gematria. So rather than you putting in a phrase or word or whatever, and you get a number come out, you can put the number in and you'd get a phrase come out. I've used your free and open websites to capture popular terms that get used over and over again, and they bubble to the top. And it's quite an interesting thing that I've done. I think it'll help people a lot easier to get into this type of stuff, because they might not get all the words and everything, but people have numbers and they see numbers, and when they see numbers on the news, they're like, why on earth is that number there? But again, 33 on there, or whatever, 56 there and there. You can just type the number in, and then it brings up a list of terms that would give to that number and how much it matches. If you wanted to, you could show your people the website, if that's all right.
I'd love to. What's the website?
It's called gemkey.one.
Gemkey.one.
Yeah, .one, like Neo, anagram of Neo.
Okay, boom. Yeah, it came right up. Gemkey.1. Here, let me share that. Okay.
Yeah, there it is.
So yeah,
Yeah,
33. That'll probably be a popular search since they do show it all the time.
and then there's two brackets. So there's left ones where it matches the most, and then the right hand side is like a narrative one, words that get used quite often. It makes it a lot easier to decode, I believe. I've been using it quite a bit for the decodes and stuff that I've been doing. It makes it easier, makes it more accessible for people that might be like half interested in this stuff.
Yeah, it's an awesome looking website. Well done. Gemkey.1. I think people will like this reverse engineering. Just for the record, you can sort of do this on GematriaEffectNews.com, but I like the way you've done it here. This is a lot easier, and it's also free. Derek made that feature cost money, and it looks like
It's all for free, and if you want to, there's an offline version, so you can just download it as a .apk file and then install it onto your phone. I don't know how to do the iPhone bit, so unfortunately, if you've got an iPhone, you suck. Get an Android phone.
Yeah, I'll take that one on the chin because I know where you're coming from. Fair enough, but no, this is awesome, man. Well done.
Yeah, cheers, buddy. Yeah, it's amazing what we can do with it. Like, if anyone's got any website ideas, plug it into this website called Emergent, and you just talk through the AI, and then it gives you suggestions on how to build it. This I probably only put about 20 hours, probably like one full day's worth of hours worth of effort into building it. It's probably only cost me about 200 Great British pounds, which is like next to nothing compared to what it'd cost you to get someone like an actual
I spent
human.
a fortune building the Gematria calculator app. Way more than that. And
Yeah, I know it's ridiculous now what you can do with AI. It's unbelievable. So I think they built the AI for us to help destroy it.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like
this is really cool, man. This is really cool. I appreciate that you did this. Gem.1, you guys.
Gemkey.1. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. That's, yeah, I've been watching your shit for years, bro. Like, I came to and then I went away, and then a couple of years later I came back, and then I really dug in, and I've always been using Derek's decoder, but I always had to go separate. If I wanted to try and find number matching for words. And this site just makes it way easier. You can just plug the number in, and it'll just bring up a list of narrative numbers to the words, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be using your website and get more familiar with it. Awesome contribution.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Perfect way to close out the stream. All right, the beer guy, amazing. Thank you.
Cheers, brother.
All right, have a good night. Or
You too.
good day, I guess.
Ciao.
You're in another part of the world. The day's starting. All right. Yeah, I need to call it a night, guys, because I got to get up early. I'm on a seriously crazy schedule these days, but it's what it calls for. What do they say? When the going gets tough, the tough get going. It's always been the motto over here, you guys. All right. Hey, congrats to the winners who got here late. You can watch them in the beginning. You don't have to watch the whole stream, but I went through a lot of the obvious script for the Knicks rigged finals over the Spurs. And for everyone like, what do you mean rigged? It's rigged every year, you guys. Wake up. It's just couldn't be any more obvious. It's rigged. These guys aren't even playing basketball. They're carrying the ball all over the court. Why not just get rid of the dribble? I keep saying, why even have dribbling anymore? Just let them run around the court. Put some trampolines on there. Let's start seeing some half-court dunks. Who can jump off the trampoline and dunk from half court? I'd rather watch that at this point rather than this. Here's how Jalen Brunson dribbles the ball. Look how he just went past everybody with the giant carry. It's dumb. It's not basketball. It's crap. Not to mention they got, is it magic or magnets? I mean, which one is it? The David Blaine ad from 20 years ago. It's obvious they're using technology to ensure the outcomes. Anyway, hey, congrats to the winners. Join us on Patreon. We decode sports every day. We'll be back at it tomorrow morning. Have a good night. If you're in that other part of the world, have a good day. And until next time, True Seeker, stop falling for rigged sports. Stop letting this rigged thing steal your energy. An exact reversal of the 99 NBA Finals, man, is something else. And RIP Aldon Smith, the latest ritual sacrifice, number 99. Wait. Oh, it's right there on the screen. Yeah, it's the third headline down, man. Knicks, Brunson, former defensive lineman Aldon Smith, dead at 36. It's sick, man. I didn't even look into the James Harden weapons charge, but that has something to do with he played for the Rockets, 94 NBA Finals, World Cup. It was Knicks versus Houston. There's something there going on with that. I'll look into it later. Brazil right up there too. Like I said, Brazil equals 94. 2 times in history, the Knicks were in the finals and Brazil was the champion in the World Cup. So look out for that because, Brazil, look at these headlines. Knicks, Brunson, the death of Aldon Smith, again, number 99 in the reversal of 99, the Harden thing, and then Brazil. Brazil got off to a really bad start, just like Argentina last time. All right, we'll keep an eye on it. All right, guys. We'll be back tomorrow if you're on Patreon. Till next time, take care.